I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just hockey, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
À la défense numéro 21, the defense number 24, Leadership. À l'attaque numéro 4, number 4, Attendance Style. À l'attaque numéro 12, number 12, Rebecca Vince. Et à l'attaque numéro 22, number 22, Jeff Jones. L'homme chef de ville, coach Tyler Price, and so much money assistant coach Kevin Stone, et la reste du centre de Brampton. Et maintenant, l'élément partant de vos Canadiennes de Montréal. La capitaine du but numéro 32, number 32, Showing Je voudrais maintenant au centre de la patinoire les capitaines des 2 équipes afin de procéder à la mise au jeu protocolaire. Will the team captains please be left on line for the official opening face-off? Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez maintenant, s'il vous plaît, vous lever, mettez les chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation de l'hymne national. Ladies and gentlemen, by the rules of penalty on.
From the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal, it's time for CWHL Hockey on CWHL Live. Good afternoon, everyone. John Bauer, Robin Flynn in the broadcast booth with you here in Montreal as we get set to bring you the first of 6 Montreal Canadiens games from Montreal this season. And Robin, other than the name change from the Stars to the Canadiens, what are some of the big changes for the Montreal squad this year?
Well, the Montreal squad definitely brought in the biggest name in hockey right now, Marie-Philippe Poulin, drafted 3rd overall first round at the draft in August. Everybody knows her name because she's the 2-time gold medal goal-scoring hero for Team Canada, so her addition is going to be absolutely out of sight for this team. She had 2 goals yesterday in Montreal's 4-0 win over the Brampton Thunder, and she's already looking so good, John.
3 points in the opener, as was Caroline Ouellette, who's approaching a milestone.
She is. She's at 249 points right now in 125 games. This is her 126th game, so 1 more point, and she'll hit that big 250. She's already the leading scorer in all-time CWHL history, so that'll be something to watch out for today.
So let's meet the starting goaltenders in today's game, and we begin with the visiting IS All-Star, who led her Laurier Golden Hawks to a national championship. And between the pipes for the Montreal Canadiens will be Charlene Labonte. She's 1-0 on the season last year. Charlie was 9-7-0 with a 1.89 goals against average. The starting lineups: Laurier Rougeau and Carly Hill on the back end, Kim Deschênes, Noémie Morin, and Emmanuel Blais up front for the Stars. Getting the call for Brampton, it's Candace Stiles centering a line with Rebecca Vint, and on the left side, that's Jess Jones, Courtney Burchard, and Candace Stiles on the back end. The third team on the ice, led by Gabrielle Ariano-Lortie, Anne-Marie Berube, and Liz Mantha as we are underway. Glad you're along with us here on CWHL Live as the puck is in Montreal territory. Fortino plays it down low, but Rougeau will bring it around to the far side for Carly Hill. She's checked along the boards by Candace Stiles as the puck rolls back to the blue line. Burchard with a shot that goes wide of the Montreal cage. Stiles tries to center. It goes off of the stick of Carly Hill over to the near side for Marin. She will skate it towards the blue line. Kim Deschênes will chip it off of the glass and recover her own clear out. Deschênes through center will roll it in to the left wing corner as the Canadiens go for a line change, and a late penalty coming up here to Brampton. It will be a hooking call.
Hopefully Brampton doesn't get into as much penalty trouble as they got into yesterday. That possibly cost them the game that they lost to the Canadiens yesterday. Already in the box, not a good sign for the Thunder.
Stiles gets the first penalty of the game 50 seconds into the contest. Last night, the Habs went 2 for 8 on the power play, and last season they had a very, very potent power play as well, Robin.
They did indeed. Last season they were operating at like 20.2%. They were second in the league.
Laurier Rougeau, top of the umbrella, takes the shot. It's knocked down in front as it goes off of the stick of Scanzano. She broke her piece of lumber, and she is without a stick right now as the Canadiens roll the puck around the boards. That's the first 25 cents in the Stars jar. Yeah. As the shot from Rougeau goes wide of the mark, and now Brampton will clear the puck down the ice and go for a line change.
Hopefully Montreal will be able to sustain some pressure on the power play here if they want to capitalize on this chance.
Rougeau flanked on the left side by Willette, and she has the puck now, lugging it up through center. In over the blue line, she has Chartrand back behind her. Willette towards the goal, takes the shot, stop, big rebound in front, pass to Chartrand, gives it to Willette, and she is stymied by Knox, who comes across and makes a spectacular stop on the left side.
As we mentioned before, Caroline Willette is just 1 point away from 250. Looked like she was pretty close there with a couple of chances. She's heading off now, so the second unit will come on for the power plays, but we're still looking out for 250.
Marin, Blais, and Deschênes up front. Hill and Aymar on the back end. Aymar with a shot that goes off of the stick of Richards over to the near corner. It's controlled by Blais. She comes to the half boards, now back to the line, goes for Carly Hill. Slap shot, blocked in front by Richards, and she will skate it out of her own zone with 53 seconds to go on the power play for the Habs. A 4-on-2 shaping up the other way. Marin stopped just inside the blue line by Richard. That's a good check along the boards as Montreal dumps it in deep. The puck comes back to the right point. Aymar will send it down low for Kim Deschênes, the former Montreal Carabin. Behind the net she goes, plays it over to the far side for Marin. Marin takes it to the top of the right wing faceoff circle, down low for Deschênes, back to Marin as Fortino got her stick on it and plays it into the far corner. Deschênes again gives it to Marin. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Back to the blue line it goes. Over to the near side is Hill. Hill goes cross ice, right hash marks for Marin, down low for Deschênes. Deschênes skates it back out to the top of the circle, tries to roll it into the corner, and it goes off of the leg of Kristen Richards over to Carly Hill. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Aymar with a shot right into the leg of the player, and that is Fortino on the far side, and she's slow to get to the Brampton bench as the Thunder have killed off the first penalty of the game. Scanzano almost steals the puck there and sends it across the face of the goal. Nobody able to get their stick on it as Larocque plays it back into the corner. Scanzano again with it on the far side. Bumps off the check of Bro. And Larocque, the pass back to her. Wrist shot tipped in front! And it passes in on Labonte. And a good stop there by Labonte as in front of the net, Rattray got her stick on that low shot.
Charlene Labonte, absolutely a world-class goaltender, 4-time Olympic gold medalist, 2-time IHF World Women's Championship. It's going to be hard for Brampton to get one past her tonight.
So we'll face it off in the half zone to the left of Charlene Labonte. Poulain wins the draw, and Bro will control it behind her own net, but Rattray goes after her. Rattray, goes after her. Rougeau with it on the near side, starting the rush up. A pass straight up the middle goes off of the stick of Poulain to center, and Larocque will play it back into the offensive zone for the Thunder. Rougeau backpedaling in her own zone over to the near side. Lead pass to Poulain. Skating wide to the left side, now cuts into the middle of the rink. Drop pass for Bette. Ann-Sophie Bette in front for Willette. And she tips it just wide. Poulain behind the net. Leaves it there for Willette. Willette taken to the boards by Rattray, as Chartrand has it at the right point. Give and go to Poulain. Poulain tries to roll it through in front for Bette, but that's broken up. And the puck is sent deep into Montreal territory as Brampton changes things up. We played 4 minutes and 5 seconds of the opening 20. No score in the hockey game. And Montreal will ice the puck here.
Brampton's looking really good defensively. That's definitely one of their strong points, is coming in from last season. Fortino, though, blocking a shot, she limped off the ice. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if she makes it back out onto the ice.
Let's take a look at the scratches in today's game. Not dressed tonight for Brampton. Laura McIntosh, number 17 for the Canadiens. Chelsea Saunders, Julie Chu, and Melinda Provo. The two last names on that list are actually coaching or playing in the CIS today, as Julie Chu got her first win as a head coach in Canadian Interuniversity Sport on Friday evening when her Concordia Stingers defeated the Montreal Carabin, the number 1 ranked team in the country. Candace Stiles, a former CIS star, takes a shot as she stole the puck on a clearing attempt, and a good stop there by Labonte to snake out the glove.
Charlene Labonte was the 3rd star in the 4-0 win yesterday. She was also the 2015 CWHL Goalie of the Year. She's looking in fine form as per usual.
Of course, we don't need to give her goals against average thus far this season, as it's a perfect 0 in 1,000 save percentage so far. She turned aside 15 shots last night in the hockey game in Montreal's 4-0 win over Brampton. We'll also get you caught up on the other scores around the league last night and today, as Boston is in Toronto to take on the Furies, and we will give you updates as this afternoon goes on. Carly Hill deep in her own zone. Plays it to Rougeau, who gives it back to Hill. And she'll skate it between the rings. And dish off left wing side for Rougeau. Rougeau ahead for Morin. Morin splits it, he goes to the goal. Shoots, stop, rebound, and it's cleared away. Has a great back check there by Whitaker to get her stick on the puck that was sitting on the goal line, waiting for a member of the Habs to tap it into the goal. Here's another steal. Morin has her pocket picked in the slot, and Richards has it over to Whitaker. And she'll leave it there for Montgomery. Her shot stopped the rebound. Rolls free, and the puck was laying in the blue crease, but the referee lost sight of the disc.
Morin is definitely an underrated part of the Canadiens' offense. You know, everybody focuses in on Poulin and Ouellette on that first line, but she had a really good year last year. She had 13 goals, 5 assists in 18 games, so she's definitely not somebody to forget about. She's going to be a threat on the ice for the Canadiens this season.
So we will face it off again to the left of Labonte. This will be the 4th defensive zone face-off today for the Montrealers. Jordana Peroff, a former CWHL Clarkson Cup champion with Toronto after spending a year in Italy, is out there giving chase with Emily Bocchia on the left wing side. And Katia Clément-Edra is also out there as she brings the puck in offside. So this is a whole CIS line with 2 former Martlets and 1 Stinger on the ice right now. And of course, Peroff, as I mentioned, the former member of the Furies who won the Clarkson Cup, was in Italy last year. But Katia Clément-Edra, a huge star for the McGill Martlets.
Yeah, she has 2 CIS championships at McGill. She was 3rd in goal, 1st in assists. She just is a completely lights-out player. She was drafted in the 2nd round this year at the draft in August.
And we're seeing more and more top-level CIS players in the CWHL. As a shot comes through, Ouellette tips it in a goal! And it hit the side of the net as Liz Knox reached back with her glove to swipe it away. In her own zone, Burchard up the far side now. It is Scanzano lifting it out to center, knocking it down in neutral territory is Bro. She plays it to Bette, to Poulin. Ouellette just onside. Poulin goes wide right side, slams the brakes on now, gives it to Bro at the left point. She comes in, takes the shot. It goes off the stick of Burchard, and it goes into the corner. Behind that, that's Bette reversing it for Ouellette. Ouellette in front, pass for Poulin. She takes a swipe at it, but the puck was in between the legs of the Brampton defender, and here comes Brampton out on the left wing side. Scanzano goes wide around Emar. Centering pass. Vint in front, takes the shot blocker, stopped by Labonte. Rebound cleared over to the far side. Vint with it. She's knocked down, and the first power play of the game is coming up here to Brampton as a tripping call is going to go against the Canadiens. Jordana Peroff getting the gate.
Brampton was 12 for 77 on the power play last season. Definitely something they want to improve. As we mentioned before, their special teams is something they've struggled with. It's a new team. There's a lot of young kids playing for the Brampton Thunder, but this is definitely the opportunity that they want. They need to score on Labonte right now.
They were 0 for 5 last night in the opening game of the season. And Rougeau off the faceoff comes in, knocks down Marin, who gives a shove to Jess Jones, the leading scorer for Brampton a year ago, as Brampton will set this power play up in their own zone. Jocelyn Larocque up the left side for Stiles, gives it back to Larocque, head full of steam through the neutral zone, dishes off to Stiles on the right wing. She'll carry it into the offensive zone, pushed to the wall there by Rougeau. Rougeau up with it. She clears it to the blue line and out to center. Here's Noémie Marin. She had a shorthanded goal last year. The Stars only scored once last year, and Brampton was the only team not to be scored against last year when on the power play. As Rougeau has it, passing it up to Poulin in over the blue line. Poulin into the right wing corner. She has Carol Ouellette with her, and now she will just slam it back out to center ice, where Carly Hill back pedals into her own zone, avoiding the check of Jones, and she'll play it out to center on the left side. Edney drops it back into the Montreal zone with a minute to go in the power play, and now it will be hammered down the ice by Cathy Chartrand. Bouchard behind her own net. Playing it over to the near side for McParlin, and now out to center. That is Fortino. Fortino doesn't look worse for the wear after taking that slap shot to the skate earlier on in this period. As she has it, skating it into the right wing corner. Backhand shot that was tipped and actually went parallel to the goal line and out the back door, and that allows Montreal to clear the puck down the ice with 30 seconds to go on the power play.
Yeah, it's good to see Fortino back out there. She did limp off a little bit when she blocked that shot, as you mentioned, John, but she's back out there, has a shot on goal on Labonte, so she's none the worse for wear.
15 seconds to go in this Brampton power play. Starting the rush up. Burchard up the near side for McParland. McParland into the Montreal zone. She tries to feather it across in front. It was blocked there by Bro, and the puck rolls into the right wing corner. And Kim Deschênes comes up with it and will ice the puck with a second to go in this power play. 11-11 to go in period number 1. Still looking for the first goal of the hockey game. Kim Deschênes on the far side lost a handle on the puck, and here is Canzano out to center. She is stick checked by Rougeau, and Bette has it for the Canadiens. She will play it into the left wing corner. Kim Deschênes giving chase. She comes up with it, gets around Whitaker, keeps her feet going, and that's why she was able to spring herself free. But then she is hit along the boards on the far side by Simmons, and Brampton has it. King chips it out on the left side for Cation. Cation in over the blue line, but could not progress much further as Karel Aymar has it. She'll play it over to the near side. Leslie Oles into the game now for the Canadiens. She gives chase. Another former CIS champion behind the net as the whistle goes, and a stoppage in play indicated by the official. Haven't seen what the call was.
Well, we saw Kim Deschênes was a little bit physical in this hockey game. She and Montgomery collided in the neutral zone a little bit earlier when Brampton was killing off the Montreal power play. But again, she's being rubbed up along the board, so it looks like the go-to move for Brampton is to make sure that they get physical with Kim Deschênes.
Skating it out to center is Edney. She'll lift it into the Habs zone. Labonte will rim it around to the boards to the near side. Back to play it. Audrey Morin, she loses a handle on the puck. Vint takes it towards the goal. Backhand shot, swiped aside by Labonte. Back to the blue line it goes. A wrist shot by Edney goes wide of the cage. And now the Canadiens will get it to the blue line, but not out. Labonte mishandles it. Vint goes in and takes her down. And Charlie goes down on the heap behind the net as Aymar now puts a check out on the Brampton player. And some pushing and shoving to the right of the Montreal cage with 9:46 to go in period number 1.
Charlene Labonte is still on her knees, but she's getting up now, so she looks to be okay. Maybe just knocked down for a second there, but she's heading back to the crease, just shaking it off.
Cathy Chartrand speaking with one of the two officials. The other referee in today's game we did not mention was Geneviève Lavoie. And there's going to be 2 penalties. Each team's going to be penalized here. Leslie Oles pushed the Brampton player into Labonte. And Jess Jones, who was up there as well, got a face wash out there. So we'll see whether or not they are offsetting minors, or if somebody drew an extra 2, as the officials are conversing in front of the penalty bench area. The CWHL and CWHL Live would like to thank Canada's dairy farmers, fueling Women's Champions program, for their valuable support in presenting CWHL Live in 2015-16. We'd also like to thank our league sponsors, Scotiabank, Sportsnet, WinSport, Bauer, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Globe and Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter Airlines, Gong Show, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens for their invaluable support of Canadian Women's Hockey League. And Robin, of course, the latter of those teams, the Montreal Canadiens, big supporters of the former Montreal Stars, who now have the same name as their NHL counterparts.
That's right. Les Canadiens are big fans of Les Canadiennes, and there's a few people from the organization that are here today taking in the game, which is a lot of fun to see, because you want to see more people at the Canadiennes games. It's such a great product on the ice, and there's already such a great pace to this hockey game right now with, exchanging power play opportunities, and there's just the Canadiennes are spending so much time in the Brampton zone. There's a goal coming. I feel it coming any minute now.
And you mentioned the relationship between the NHL and the CWHL team here in Montreal. I was at the first preseason game this year, where they unveiled the new logo the same day. And the reaction of the 19,000 fans at the Bell Center was incredible when Marie-Philippe Poulin came out with the Montreal Canadiens jersey, which is the typical Habs colors with striping, with a C, but in the middle it pays homage to the past of the Montreal Stars with the actual star from the old logo.
Which is good to see that they're paying tribute to their former name, because they are the winningest team in the CWHL with 3 Clarkson Cup championships. So it's important to keep that star as part of the logo. And I like that it's different, that it's not just the Montreal Canadiens logo, that there's a little bit of a twist to it, and it's original and it's completely fitting for this team.
So we are looking at 2 minutes on each side of the penalty ledger, but there's an extra player in the box for Brampton. That's it's interesting to see that happen here. And actually now Tara Cation is actually walking into the Brampton bench from the penalty box, because there's actually not a divider between the two areas. So we will be skating 5 aside here, or it should be 5 aside, because they're offsetting minors on the skirmish that saw Charlie Labonte being taken down to the right of her goal a few moments ago. No score so far in the hockey game. 9:46 to go in period number 1.
Caroline Ouellette had a goal and 2 assists yesterday, so she's out on the ice right now. She was getting the explanation at center ice from the officials, but she's out there, and she's of course looking for 250.
We mentioned that we would keep you also apprised of what's going on elsewhere in the CWHL today. There's no score between between Toronto and Boston. Last night, the defending Clarkson Cup champions lost 2-0 to the 1 year removed champions, the Toronto Furies, in a game that was in Toronto. And of course, a year of transition, a lot of changes with the Boston Blades organization, and we'll see how that team is able to put together a defense of their Clarkson Cup championship this year. We're skating 4 aside, so they are coincidental minors. As Ouellette plays it back to Rougeau, ahead for Poulain just inside her own blue line. Up the right side for Ouellette. Into the offensive zone she goes. Caro slams the brakes on, tries to go down low. It hits the skate of Sarah Edney, and the puck will bounce out to center ice. Ouellette plays it back into her own zone for Cathy Chartrand. Ahead for Poulain, who is curling between the rings and now starts the rush up. Out to center, tries to hit Ouellette streaking on the right side, but Candace Stiles gets her stick in the way and knocks the puck down. Vint on the counter-attack, 4-on-4 for Brampton. Will play it into the offensive zone, rolls it into the slot. Bette comes back to pick it up, and Poulain has it, leaves it there for her as Bette skates into the offensive zone with Emar going towards the goal. But Bette tried to play it back towards the blue line, and McParlin plays it out to center. Here's another chance. Clément Aydra, it scores on the late penalty, and it's 1-0 Montreal. Ann-Sophie Bette slow to get up as she was knocked down just outside of the blue line, and still managed to feather the pass across to set up the goal.
Yeah, it's always easier to get up after you've been knocked down. When a goal gets scored on the play, Bette was happy to get up and head over to celebrate with her teammates. Katia Clément Aydra coming out of McGill scores and puts les Canadiennes up 1-0.
11:15, the time of the opening goal of the hockey game. Katia Clément Aydra, her first goal in the CWHL, with a helper going to Ann-Sophie Bette. We'll have to see if there's a second assist on the scoring play in just a moment's time.
Katia Clément Aydra, of course, was drafted in the second round this year. She has 2 CIS championships with the McGill Martlets. She was 3rd in goal, 1st in assists, 3rd in power play goals. She's an excellent addition to this team.
Still skating 4 aside for the next 59 seconds. Rattray will take the draw against Marie-Philippe Poulain. And Poulain will win it back to her own blue line for Laurien Rougeau, who plays it to Caro Ouellette on the left side. Sophie Brault has her stick knocked away and sent all the way back down into Brampton territory. The rear guard, Burchard, was lucky not to get a penalty. And here's Poulain, sprung free on the right side with a wrist shot in the shoulder, saved by Liv Knox as she knocks the puck over the glass and out of play.
What a pass from Caroline Ouellette to feed Poulain as she was streaking into the Brampton zone. That's not going to be something that you can get away with very often. Poulain just wide of the net.
Audrey Morin picking up the second assist on the opening goal of the hockey game. So it's Clément Aydra from Bette and Morin at 11:15, and it's 1-0 for Montreal. Bette, who just set up the goal, plays it down to the right wing corner for Noémie Morin. Back to the line for Rougeau. Give and go for Morin, but it goes over her stick. Bette into the slot for Morin, who was streaking towards the goal. She's knocked down and will draw a penalty. Brault plays it into the corner. Burchard plays it, and a penalty coming up here to Brampton for slashing. Scanzano will get the gate. So now we're going to skate 4-on-3 for 17 seconds.
It's a little bit harder for Brampton, especially when they've got Jess Jones in the box right now. She's one of their best players.
The leading scorer a year ago for Brampton with 7 goals and 16 points. Scanzano was the leading penalty getter last year for Brampton with 40 penalties. And Brampton was shorthanded 111 times a year ago.
Not something you want to see.
Rougeau, 4-on-3 for 10 seconds. Here's Ouellette. Excuse me, that was Chartrand de Ouellette to Rougeau. Takes the slap shot, and it's blockered aside by Knox to the near side. Larocque behind the net. A steal there by Chartrand, as we are now skating 5-on-4, as Jones is back on the ice for Brampton. Minute 30 to go in the power play for the Canadiens. Rougeau, right side. Give and go with Poulin. Down low, Betty scores! Ann-Sophie, who celebrated her birthday earlier this week, picks up a goal, a power play marker. It's 2-0 Montreal.
Ann-Sophie Betez helped out on that first goal that we saw Katia Clement-Hedra score. Now she has a goal of her own. She heads by the bench to celebrate with her teammates. That power play looked absolutely lethal, and Brampton really can't take any more penalties in this game if they want to have a chance to get back in it. Canadiennes up 2-0.
12:34, time of the second goal of the hockey game. Ann-Sophie Betez, her first of the campaign. 2 years ago, the MVP in the CWHL. Had her production tail off a little bit last year as the then Stars rejigged the lineup. Vinnie Davidson was a big part of that a couple of years ago. Give a shout out to Vinnie, who's watching today, as Brampton ices the puck with 7:11 to go in period number 1.
Just before Clement-Hedra scored that goal, Betez had fallen down and she got up quickly to celebrate. Well, now she scored a goal of her own, so definitely no issues there of whether or not she's injured. She looks great.
Rougeau gets the first assist on Betez's first goal of the season.
Betez often is referred to or referenced as the Brendan Gallagher of women's hockey at a small 5'4", but she is tough as nails. She will go hard to the net. She's a 3-time CIS champion at McGill University.
So the second assist goes to Cathy Chartrand. An official's error will bring the face-off back out to center ice, as Richards will take it against Marin. She's flanked by Deschênes and Blais on the right side. And Blais comes up with it. She'll chip it into the offensive zone. Backpedaling in her own zone is Fortino as she seeks refuge behind the net and comes out the near side. And will reverse as Emmanuel Blais is on the forecheck. And a tenacious forechecker for the Canadiens. As Brampton, the Thunder will clear it up the near boards. King gets it out to center, but Aymar will hammer it back into the offensive zone. Fortino cross ice, left side for Burchard, and she will now give it to King on the right wing side, streaking into the offensive zone. She'll chip it into the right wing corner, getting around Aymar, but Carly Hill comes back to help out her defense partner, and Aymar now has it on the near side, skating it out to neutral ice. Her cross ice pass hits the skate of Richards, and she now has it in her own defensive zone with 6:25 to go in period number 1. 2-0 Montreal on goals by Katia Clement-Hedra and Ann-Sophie Betez in this opening stanza. Burchard behind the net. Plays up the far side, and Scanzano now has it, skating away on the left wing side. She cuts into the middle of the rink, tries to take a shot on goal, but the shot hit a stick of a Canadiens defender, and Bocchia has it for Montreal. Off the glass, far side, playing it back down low is Peroff. She'll reverse it behind the net to Bro. Bro up the near side, kept in by Whitaker at the right point. Feathers it into the slot. Scanzano's backhand shot goes wide. And now Bocchia will skate it out towards center. Lifting it up ahead for Peroff. She's on a solo player rush. Rolls it in the goal. Big rebound. Peroff's got it. Gives it to Bocchia, but she couldn't get the shot on goal as McParlin came back and lifted her stick. Bocchia still battling for it in the far corner as Alyssa Sherrard comes in now for the for the Canadiens. Chartrand. That's now $2 in the Stars jar.
Who cashes in at the end of the season?
I don't
Hopefully
know.
It's me.
Maybe we'll go for dinner. Here's Olds in over the line on the right wing side. She goes wide. Centering pass! And it just goes under the stick of Sherrard, who was standing on the doorstep. McParlin with the puck for Brampton. Reverses it back into her own zone. As on the forecheck there was Sarah Lachance, and that allows both teams to go for a line change as Brampton will clear it down into Montreal territory. Lachance back to Chartrand, right side for Carly Hill. She'll lift it out to center, left wing side. Lachance knocked down there by the captain, Jocelyn Larocque, in neutral ice. And a penalty coming up here to Brampton for body, actually it's not going to be for body checking. It will be for interference. And for the third time in this period, Montreal goes to the power play.
Jordana Paroff had a nice chance a little bit earlier, a few moments ago. It's nice to see that she's being reunited with all her McGill teammates. She was playing with the Toronto Furies last year. She's won a Clarkson Cup just the year before with Toronto, but now she's back home hanging out with all of her McGill friends. Jordana Paroff, of course, Keswick, Ontario native.
And a Leaf fan.
And a Leafs fan. That's not something you want to advertise.
Well, some of us wear that tattoo proudly like you wear your Canadiennes tattoo on your wrist. Ouellette over to the far side for Rougeau. Lorraine Rougeau gives it back to Carol Ouellette. Looking for point number 250. Back to the line for Rougeau. Right side now for Poulin, who comes out to the top of the umbrella now. Poulin looking down low, pass for Bette. Nice play by Fortino to get her stick in the way of it. Bette still comes up with a disc, but the Canadiens will reset. Poulin feathers it into Ouellette in the left wing corner. 4 minutes to go in period number 1. A minute 30 on the power play as 3 Habs jerseys are in the left wing corner. As the puck comes free, back to the point it goes for Poulin. Right point now for Rougeau. Give and go to Poulin. Nice tip pass to Ouellette. Ouellette goes to the right side for Rougeau, who had cut across the grain, but she was tied up there and couldn't get the shot away. Good defensive play there by Brampton. Rougeau, right side. Poulin fans on the shot, and coming up with the puck is Candice Stiles, and she will hammer it down the ice to get a line change here with a minute to go on the power play for the Habs.
Nice to see Poulin working the point, making use of that slap shot that she has. It's an incredibly powerful shot, and that's definitely a place you want to have her on the power play.
Lay ahead on the left side for Deschênes, who carries it into the offensive zone. She'll bring it back out to the top of the left wing faceoff circle and gives it back off to Blais. To the line it goes for Carly Hill. Right side for Marin. Marin with the puck. Top of the right wing faceoff circle. Imar feathers it down low. Good play there by Simmons as she'll get her stick on the puck and tip it away from Marin. She catches up to it, gives it to Blais on the near side. Back to the blue line it goes for Hill. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Blais. Fans on the pass over to Hill, and the puck squirts out to center, and that requires Montreal to clear the zone. Blais dumps it back in. Knox out to play it. There is no trapezoid in the CWHL, so Knox was able to come out a long way to play the puck. Hill over to Marin, left side to Blais. Blais into the faceoff circle, back to Carly Hill. Hill fakes, takes the shot, and it's knocked down in front by Edney. And here's Scanzano skating out to center as Brampton's back to full strength. Scanzano goes in deep. Good play by Hill to go low and blocking the pass across. And the puck is cleared out to center. 2:20 to go in period number 1. A deuce on the Montreal side of the scoreboard. Nothing for Brampton thus far in the hockey game, as they had some early chances. Here's a centering pass by Rattray that is broken up by the Habs. And Bocchia will skate it out to center. Paroff proceeds to play into the offensive zone, but it's actually Brampton that plays it in deep in their own territory. Fortino plays it over to the near side. Burchard up the right side, Rattray into Montreal territory. Her centering pass for Scanzano was knocked away by Chartrand. And Katzi has the puck. The captain for the Habs plays it over to the near side for Bro. Bro ahead for Bocchia, skating to center. Going across the grain to the right side. Now lifts a pass ahead for Paroff just out of her reach, and Fortino has it for Brampton. Burchard ahead on the, Burchard, up the right side, plays it in deep. 1:20 to go in the period. Here's Caroline Ouellette starting the rush up. Ouellette straight up the gut. Here she goes, end to end. Ouellette to the goal! Stop the rebound. It is bouncing in the slot area, and the puck comes back to the blue line. Rougeau with a shot that is blockered aside. A minute 3 to go in period number 1. 2-0, Montreal leading. Coming up in our first intermission, Robin Flynn will be down at ice level with our first intermission guest of the season. Here is Larocque into the offensive zone for Brampton. She plays it into the corner as Brampton had an injured player vent behind the play who is now to the bench, and now they have 5 skaters out there. 40 seconds to go in the period. Caroline Ouellette, far side. The pass for Bette cuts across the green over the left wing side. Now goes straight up the middle, loses a handle on the puck, and Jones will clear the puck over to the near side. 25 seconds to go in the opening period. 2-0 Montreal. Labonte out of her net to play it. And pitching in on the right side, that was Richards. Richards loses a handle on it, and Deschênes will lift it out to center with 15 seconds to go in the period. Is it going to go long enough for an icing call? No, it'll be waved off as Hale gets up to the end of the rush to negate the icing. King will just rag the puck along the boards. Play it to Simmons on the far side as the buzzer sounds to end period number 1 with Montreal leading 2-0 on goals by Katia Clément-Aydra at 11:15. And then less than a minute later, it was Ann-Sophie Bette on the power play, giving the Habs a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. We will try and get you the shots on goal total in just a few moments' time, as we will be sending it down to ice level for an interview right now. In just a few moments' time, Robin Flynn standing by with her first intermission guest. Shots on goal so far in the hockey game. There's a slight delay on our online stats. Shows a 5-3 advantage in front of in favor of the Canadiens. So we're going down to ice level in just a few moments' time. Caroline Ouellette will be joining Robin Flynn in just a moment's time to talk about the first period in today's game, as well as last night's season opener. Now we'll just wait for them to get all set up, and we will be sending it down to Robin in just a few moments' time. Elsewhere in the CWHL this afternoon, Toronto and Boston are playing in Toronto, and they are scoreless in the first period very, very early on in that hockey game. So 2-0 for Montreal here. Let's take a look at the scoring summary so far in the hockey game. It was Katia Clément-Aydra scoring at 11:15 from Ann-Sophie Bette and Audrey Morin, and then Bette scores her first of the season on the
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
Ann-Sophie Bette, she had a goal and an assist in that first period. Just before that goal that you assisted on, Katia Clément-Aydra scored. What happened there? I saw you fall over.
I mean, kind of took collision. I don't know how it happened, but I mean, they called it a penalty, and luckily Katia scored. So sometimes you get a bit of price for your teammates, and I'm really happy that Katia scored her first goal, and I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's great. I noticed that you get up pretty quickly after you see a goal get scored. It must hurt a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's what paying the price is after all this. It's so great to such a great goal.
Then it was nice to see not too long after that on the power play you scored a goal of your own. What did you see on that goal?
I mean, it's a power play. You try to get pucks to the net, and there was a lot of traffic, so I tried to aim for forward path. If for rebounds, I saw Ouellette on the other side, and luckily again it went in. So we'll take that one.
It's nice to see that you guys are able to capitalize on the special teams, definitely, especially with Brampton. They're struggling a little bit on the penalty kill. So what do you expect from them from the second period?
I mean, I think they'll be aggressive, and we got to keep our feet moving. And I know they're going to come out strong. Yesterday they came through with a loss. They don't want to come here with 2 losses, so we got to fight harder than them and get the W at the end of the game.
Kendall was just 1 point away from her 250th point. Is there anything special you guys are planning if she manages to get that point?
Probably throw a glove in the air. I don't know. We'll figure out that after the game.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Ann-Sophie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin, for That interview with Ann-Sophie, the second goal scorer in the game. She has a goal and an assist in this contest. Shots on goal in period number 1 favored the Canadiens by a mark of 6-3 and 2-0 on the scoreboard. They have now gone 4 periods to start the season without giving up a goal. When we come back, we will have more of our first intermission, including other interviews here from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal. You're watching CWHL Live on ISI Live.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
Hey! 100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. Now the local Montreal Stars of the Canadian Women's Hockey League are now part of a whole new galaxy. The team has joined forces with the Montreal Canadiennes to leverage their brand and encourage the development of women's hockey here in Quebec. Take a look. A new agreement between the Montreal Canadiens and the Canadian Women's Hockey League is letting the Stars shine.
We're very proud of this partnership. You are an example to many of the young girls who are starting to play hockey. Our intent is to put the Montreal Canadiens marketing machine behind you to make hockey more important in Quebec, especially girls hockey and women's hockey, and to help grow the sport.
On a tous et toutes rêvé de jouer pour la Canadienne de Montréal un jour puis de gagner une Coupe Stanley. Malheureusement, c'est pas arrivé encore. Par contre, on est libre. On n'a pas de contrat encore.
This agreement is meant to raise the profile of the Stars by associating with one of the most storied franchises in the world. The Stars are the 3rd team in the league to join with their NHL counterparts, following in the footsteps of Calgary and Toronto.
It's just a matter of growing the game and growing the number of players here in Quebec, 7,000 compared to about 30 in Ontario. So there's still a lot of work to do here. And that's why an association with the Habs here, I really believe in our sport and they want to be part of it.
Just the visibility. A lot of people talk about women's hockey once every 4 years. The Olympics are so big, but I wonder, do they ask where those girls are playing the rest of the years? Just having more, as I said, visibility and just that people know about us and who we are. That we walk on the street and we say, do you know who the Montreal Stars is?
The Canadiens will be offering their expertise in marketing, advertising, and helping to promote the team. The most noticeable changes will be the team's name and jersey design. There's one goal that is yet to be achieved: turning the Stars into a moneymaker for the players.
I think with a league that's still growing, we don't have any full-time members that are actually paid of each team. So everyone's a volunteer and we have an amazing staff, but it's really difficult to really get out into the communities as much as we want to.
The agreement seems especially appropriate when looking at the similarities between the two teams. The Stars are the most successful CWHL team, taking home 3 of the 8 Clarkson Cup titles, while the Canadiens are obviously famously known for their record of 24 Stanley Cups. While there are a wealth of Olympians on both teams, Montreal is making its case for being the best goaltending city in the world, currently boasting 2 Olympic gold medalists.
Yeah, it's cool. Obviously, it gives some of the best female players in Canada and the world to a home to play. You know, it's really good to see them get an opportunity, and you know, it speaks volumes of the organization here to step up and help them out.
I watch Olympics. I was pretty into it. Obviously excited when Canada won, but you know, that's pretty much as I follow. I've got a few. You know, I played with some girls growing up, and I check in on how they're doing. They're over in colleges and stuff like that. So you want to see them do well and hopefully eventually represent their country.
While many kids look up to Montreal's greatest players, the Stars are hoping that soon there will be room for new idols in the boys' club.
I think a huge part of getting young girls into the rink and thinking that they can actually play hockey too is to see it. When you have role models that are strong, confident women that are playing great level of hockey, you're able to have these young girls coming to the stands and see them and maybe want to emulate them. And then they'll be able to go home and say, hey, can I try this sport? And now giving them some resources to be able to do it in their local communities.
Well, they have the chance to look up to girls and having that dream to play in our NHL, which is the CWHL. I think it's a great opportunity. And if I could, I would go back as a little kid and then redo it all over again. But right now we're kind of writing history for them, and it's kind of undescribable, but it's actually amazing. I hope one day somebody's going to say, hey, I want to be like her.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just talking, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
As you look at the Montreal Canadiens getting ready to come back out onto the ice for the second period of today's game, it's 2-0 Montreal after 20 minutes of play. John Bauer, Robin Flynn with you here at the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal on the Caroline Ouellette rink, or La Glace Caroline Ouellette, if you would like. And Robin, your impressions of period number 1?
The Canadiens are looking really good in the first period. They're up 2-0, so it's pretty clear there. What I liked was seeing the work that they've been doing on the power play. They were 1 for 3 on the power play in the first period, and that's something that they're going to want to capitalize on going forward. Ann-Sophie is having a heck of a game. She has a goal and an assist already in this hockey game.
We'd like to remind you that the CWHL and CWHL Live is a presentation of Canada's dairy farmers, fueling Women's Champions program for their valuable support in presenting the 2015-16 CWHL streaming here on ISI Live.
And make sure that you tune in on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram during the game this afternoon. You can use the hashtag BT versus CM and, of course, CWHL Live, and we'll hopefully get to some of your tweets during the game.
One other game in the CWHL this afternoon, 9:15 to go in period number 1 in Toronto at the Canlan Ice Gardens at York University. No score between the Blades and the Furies. Montreal skating left to right here in period number 2, but we're not on the radio, so you didn't need to actually know that. You probably could figure that out yourself. Yeah, old radio broadcasters don't die, they just go to web streams.
There's no such thing as too much description. I don't think anyone will fault you for it, John.
And Robin Flynn, who is in her first season with us here on CWHL Live, we're glad to have her along from TSN Radio and CJAD here in Montreal. Cathy Chartrand in the offensive zone for Bette. She tries to settle the puck down, and she eventually does get it onto her stick and gets it back to Poulin. The Canadiens on the power play here for another minute 37 as the puck goes wide, left side for Ouellette. Chartrand, who is playing up at the forward position here on this power play, puts the body into the defensive player Burchard for Brampton as the puck pinballs around to the far side. And now Rattray will get it out to center. She's held up there just a little bit by Poulain. She falls down to the ice and swipes at the disc, sending it wide of the Montreal cage.
Looked like she was hoping for a call there, but it looked like she embellished a little bit.
Ouellette takes the pass from Deschênes. She goes down low towards the front of the goal. Centering pass, and Poulain puts it just wide. The puck comes off the end boards, and it is cleared out to center ice by number 13, Sarah Edney. Chartrand, with 50 seconds to go on the power play, plays it up the right side for Noémie Marin. Marin cutting towards the goal, goes behind the net, knocks down into the sweep check position as Marin takes the puck to the far boards. Back to the line to Hill, give and go, down low for Emmanuel Blais. Blais brings it out to the top of the far face-off circle, gives it to Hill. She walks the blue line, just keeping the puck on side, as now Hill takes the puck back from Blais, dishes off Emma. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Here is Hill to Emma, winding, shooting, and it goes wide through a pair of legs to the far side for Blais. Back to Hill at the left point. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Blais into the slot. Aymar tries to take the shot. She loses a handle on it, and Edney is upended. And a penalty coming up here to Aymar for tripping.
Well, now Brampton's turn to go on the power play after they just killed off this penalty. It was tough for them to have Jocelyn Larocque in the box during that penalty because she's one of their best defenders. But Sarah Edney, she went first overall at the draft. She's doing an admirable job of manning the blue line right now for the Thunder.
So the penalty will bring the faceoff back down to the left of Charlene Labonte. So the shots have been changed in the first period. 11-5 were the shots in favor of Montreal. As an update on our live stats. Fortino now as Brampton goes to their second power play of the game. Scanzano. Rattray, far side, being bothered there by Chartrand. Puck comes back to the blue line, and backhanding it out to center was Jamie Lee Rattray, who just tried to stick handle the puck and, unfortunately for her, was unable to control the puck. Fortino back in her own zone behind the goal line. She's got McParlin to her right, but she will come to Rattray on the left wing side at center. Stick check there by Jordana Peroff, and she will backhand the puck deep down into Brampton territory. That will allow a partial line change. Peroff tried to intercept a clearing attempt, but the puck just came over the blue line.
I like what I'm seeing from the Canadiennes in this game, particularly in the neutral zone. Brampton having a hard time getting into the offensive zone, mainly because of the Canadiennes' play. They're just stymieing them at the red line.
So a neutral zone face-off here. Let's set up the power play for Brampton. Vint out there with Jones and Stiles up front on the back end. It is Larocque and Sarah Edney who has the puck. She plays it to the far side for Stiles. She got locked up there on the boards by Bro. And the puck comes over to the near side. Jones knocked off the disc. Larocque at the left point tries to feather it down low. Carly Hill got her stick in the way. And Bro will play it up the far side. It bounces off the boards. Kept in at the blue line by Edney. Dishes off right side for Vint. Vint takes the shot. Rebound comes across the face of the goal line. And Jones couldn't tap it in. Here's Edney with a shot kick safe there by Labonte. As Brampton getting some sustained pressure here on this power play. As Bro on the far side tries to play it up the boards. Fielding Montgomery knocks the puck down as Brampton was able to get a partial line change. At the line, Edney shot, big rebound in front. Jones fans on the rebound, and she is knocked down in front of the goal by Emar, and the puck will be cleared out to center. Montgomery with it for Brampton. The Canadiens unable to get a line change here, but now they do get the puck into the offensive zone, and that will allow them to change up the blue liners as Rougeau and Chartrand come over the boards. And now the Habs are able to complete a full line change as the penalty to Aymar expires. Cathy Chartrand up the near side. Larocque intercepts. She passes it to Richards, who will dish it off to King on the right side. She taps it in behind the goal over to the near side. Larocque giving chase. Chartrand tips it away from her. Comes to the blue line, kept in by Richards. Richards, nice play there to walk the blue line and keep the puck on side. As Chartrand will now clear it to Clément Edra. And here is Caroline Ouellette on the far side. Ouellette off the boards. Fortino taps it back out to center, and with 15:35 to go in the second period, the pace is starting to settle down just a little bit more. But on the counterattack, here comes Clément Edra, who opened the scoring in the first period. Centering pass for Bacchia, and the save made by Liz Knox as she went down in the butterfly. Fortino behind her own net, starting to rush up on the far side, skates away from Ouellette as the Habs go for a partial line change. McParlin has her pocket picked, and it's a 3-on-1 back the other way. Here's Willette in. Willette, wrist shot, scores! Point number 250 for Caroline Willette.
250th point in her 126th CWHL game. Caroline Willette coming in right after the Canadiennes managed to kill off a big power play. Brampton looked so good on that power play, but it's just not enough. They need an extra attacker on the ice if they want to have any chance of getting on the board in this hockey game.
So Caroline Willette, her second goal of the season, 250th point in her career in the CWHL at 4:55. Carly Hill will draw the first assist on the goal, and Brampton got caught up ice on an intercepted pass. The Stars are able to come back in 3-on-1, although the 3-on-1 didn't really matter much when Willette went roof daddy on the puck. Vint will clear it up. She tries to clear it up the boards, but Sherrard gets down and knocks the puck ahead with a glove. And a face-off will come out in neutral territory.
Again, it was the neutral zone play of the Canadiennes that really led to that scoring chance and ultimately goal by Caroline Willette, because they were able to get control of the puck in the neutral zone thanks to a turnover and create that 3-on-1.
So we're just waiting for the rest of the confirmation of the scoring play. And that is the only assist is to Carly Hill, so one assist on the goal. That makes it 3-0 for the Stars. Whitaker in her own zone to Simmons on the near side. She'll chip it out to center, but Jones doesn't get her stick on the puck, and it will be an icing call.
It's a shame that Brampton wasn't able to capitalize on that power play opportunity. They were 0 for 1 in the first period, but that was the first time that we've really seen the Thunder have any sustained zone pressure. Jess Jones with 2 really great scoring chances. Unfortunately, she just couldn't get one past Charlene Labonte, last year's CWHL Goalie of the Year.
Wholesale line change here for the Canadiens. Blais, Morin, and Deschênes up front. Rougeau and Bro on the backhand off the face-off. Deschênes with a high wrister that just went over the crossbar as Knox went down on the shot. Morin behind the net. Can't get away from McParlin as Vint will try to clear it. Bro seals her off. Stiles battling for it for Brampton. And Blais had it for a moment, but Vint with a nice little stick check, and then she was able to chip the puck back out to center. So Brampton able to get a line change here after the icing call, hem them in deep in their own zone. Bro up the near side. It'll be Blais settling the disc down. Blais tips it ahead for Morin. Morin in, wrist shot, goes wide of the far post. Bro pinching, plays it in behind the goal, and now up with it is Burchard up the near side. Cation ahead for Radray towards the goal, backhand shot, and a toe save by Labonte as the backhander clipped the pad of the veteran Habs netminder.
I love that we're calling them the Habs. I think it's a very fitting nickname for Les Canadiennes. That's the nickname for the Canadiens, and this is appropriate to call them the Habs. I've heard some people call them the Lady Habs. No, let's just stick with the Habs.
Well, first of all, it's because somebody's Twitter handle happens to be Lady Habs, as somebody who covers the NHL team on a regular basis, not naming names, Robin Flynn, who is just to my left.
Well, it's appropriate because I'm covering the Montreal Canadiens and the Montreal Canadiennes, so it's only fitting that my Twitter handle would be @LadyHabs.
And you can follow Robin all season long. Here she'll be tweeting out all kinds of information about both Habs franchises here in Montreal. There's a steal behind the net, centering past McParlin, goes to Burchard, far side now, as Fortino came back across the blue line for a pass for Burchard, but the puck exited the offensive zone and brought back in, so an offside call against Brampton. Shot so far in the period 3-2 in favor of the Thunder, but where it counts the most, it is in favor of Montreal as they lead 3-0. Fortino into her own zone, leaves it there for Burchard. Tries to play it up on the right wing side for Scanzano out of her reach, and an icing charge coming up here against the Thunder.
The Canadiens are winning the face-off battle, not just on the scoreboard do we see them out on top, but they're winning more of the face-offs than the Brampton Thunder are, and they need to get control of the puck if they want to be able to get into the offensive zone and get on the board.
The Habs aren't the only team with a new logo this year, the Toronto Furies as well, and if you are loving the new logos, get your hands on merchandise featuring fantastic redesigns at shop.cwhl.ca. So the pace has slowed down quite a bit here in the middle part of this period after the Ouellette goal, which really kind of finished a bit of a frenzy at both ends of the ice. A couple of icings, and it's kind of taken a little bit of the momentum out of the play right now.
You know what, there also hasn't been a penalty called in a while in a game that's been pretty busy with penalties, so I wouldn't be surprised if something gets called in a couple of seconds here.
Barak behind her own net for the Thunder. She'll leave it there for Edney. Poulin on the forecheck. Bette seals her off as it was a double team for the Canadiens on each side. Not a lot of options other than to chip the puck up the near boards. Here's Aymar. Back to Chartrand. Left point to Ouellette. Winding, firing, and it is deflected wide off of Montgomery's stick. Ouellette and Poulin battling for the puck. Edney seals off Poulin, but Ouellette got free. Now Edney takes the puck away from her as Montgomery came back to help, and Montgomery has it and was stick checked by Chartrand at the blue line. So Montreal hemming Brampton into in their defensive zone, and now the puck is cleared out to center as Montreal went for a line change. Clément Aydra, her first goal of the CWHL career earlier in the hockey game, is in on the right side, takes the wrist shot, and she did not miss the near post by much. Montgomery with it for Brampton with 12 minutes to go in the middle stanza. 3-0 Montreal, and the puck is chipped over the boards and into the penalty bench area.
Nice to see Caroline Ouellette's goal, by the way, her 250th point on a goal. It's always nice to be able to celebrate that way. Of course, assists are always appreciated, but it's kind of nice when you're the one that scores the goal. She's had such a prolific career, not only in the CWHL, but on the world stage as well. She has 4 Olympic gold medals. She's represented Canada at 12 world championships, and she's third on Canada's all-time scoring list behind Hayley Wickenheiser and Jana Hefford.
Not bad company.
No, definitely not bad company to keep.
Jones tips the puck away from the Montreal attacks, bringing free on the right side, Rebecca Vint. She's into the offensive zone. She has Stiles going towards the goal. She tries to power towards the Montreal net, but she lost a handle on the disc. The Canadiens clear it to the blue line, and Hill will skate it up to center. It's a 3-on-1. Hill has Perov on the right side. She's got Clément Aydra on the left side, pass back on the right wing, and it was broken up there as a scoring chance for Perov, but she was taken out of the play, and now the whistle goes on a stoppage on an offside, so the faceoff will come back in neutral ice.
We're nice to see Jordana Perov get a first goal as a member of the Canadiennes de Montreal. Of course, she's coming from Toronto. Bit of a rivalry there, of course, between the former Stars, now Canadiennes, and the Furies. So it'd be nice to see her on the right end of the score sheet this time around.
Perov was one of those players like Catherine Ward, like Vinnie Davidson, and Ann-Sophie Bate, who I called a lot of their goals when they were playing for the Martlets as a 3-on-1 for shoots and stopped by Knox. The rebound is left loose in the crease, but a quick whistle there as the official in the offensive zone was blocked by the pad of Knox, could not see the puck and assumed that the netminder had the disc. That's the second time today there's a quick whistle, one against Brampton and once against Montreal.
Definitely not working in Brampton's favor in that case, or was working in Brampton's favor in that case. Leslie Oles in the lineup today. She was a healthy scratch yesterday in the 4-0 win over Brampton.
One of the things I didn't mention is that when I was calling those games, it was against the teams that I was working for, either Ottawa or Carleton, and not necessarily for the Martlets.
McGill Martlets, definitely a prolific franchise when it comes to women's hockey.
Most definitely, and Peter Smith and Amy Doyle doing a great job with that program. And now Alyssa Chechere, who is a full-time assistant coach there, a former member of the Canadiens squad. Here's Ouellette in on the right wing side. Drop pass back for Bette. McParlin got her stick on it. The puck pinballs to the far corner. Here's Chartrand down low. Bette centers it, and going low and blocking it was Fortino, and the puck rolled right into her netminder, Liz Knox.
We talk about McGill quite a bit, but at the CEGEP level, Dawson College has had a really good program as well. And I went to Dawson, so that's something that I'm really proud of. Manuelle Blais is one, and before she went on to her NCAA career, she played for the Dawson College Blues. So it's good to see all that local talent on the ice.
Peugeot to the left side. Give and go with Lachance, and the shot is deflected over the glass and out of play as we are approaching the midway point of regulation time, and it's a 3-0 Montreal lead. Nothing like hearing Les Trois Accords singing Hawaiian, especially on a very chilly, snowy day here in Montreal. Not that that has anything to do with what's going on the ice. Aymar with it on the right point. Takes the wrist shot. It goes off of the body of Jocelyn Larocque over to the near corner. King will skate the puck to her own blue line and get it out to center, but it's broken up there by Rougeau. And La Chance will play it back in on the counterattack, and she slams the brakes, and I will go for a line change now. Affording Brampton the opportunity to clear it out of their own zone. Becca King out to center. Bodied there by Deschênes, and Kim Deschênes comes up with the puck, but she was pushed off of the disc there by Larocque. As the puck goes deep into Montreal territory, Brampton gets a partial line change now. As Deschênes skates it to center. Noémie Morin is crushed in the neutral ice. Deschênes, it shoots! And Liz Knox reaches back with her glove and swats the puck away from the vacant cage. Great stop there by Knox. As there was some daylight on the glove side, Deschênes looked like she had picked the corner and knocks it out of harm's way. And now a penalty coming up here along the near boards. It'll be a holding call, and it's going to go, I believe, against the Canadiens, although I might be mistaken.
That was a game-saving stop that we just saw from Liz Knox. You don't want to let Montreal get another one on the board before you can manage to get onto the score sheet.
And it is.
She's looked really good tonight with a lot of sustained pressure from the Canadiennes.
Morin gets the penalty, and you talk about sustained pressure. Shots on goal so far, 15-9 in favor of the Canadiens, and 3 or 4 of the spectacular kind. As the Habs on the penalty kill will ice the puck. Knox out of her own net. Good job there to read the play and not put it onto the stick of Marie-Philippe Poulin. Fortino starting the rush up. She is skating it out to center. Scanzano on the right wing side. Fortino into the offensive zone. Burchard on the blue line, waiting for the puck. She is the lone blue liner as Fortino has carried it into the corner. The pass to Scanzano. She tried to go down low. It hit the referee in the corner, and now the puck is locked up against the boards with 3 red jerseys down low and 3 white jerseys as well. McParlin up with it. McParlin centering pass, but it splits right between the 2 blue liners and rolls all the way down to Liz Knox. Great read by McParlin, great execution. Just misread where her defensive partners were going to be.
You can already see the Brampton Thunder starting to gel a little bit better, as is evident by the way that their special teams are looking so good now.
Rattray skating ahead on the left wing side, head full of steam down low into the corner. She goes behind the net, comes out the far side, back to the blue line to Larocque. Larocque fakes the shot, dishes off, right side. Rattray now into the slot, takes a shot, tipped in front, and it is knocked away by Hill. Edney at the left point with 40 seconds to go on the power play. Wrist shot blocked by Bette. Here is King with it now. Back to Edney. Her shot knocked down in front again by Carly Hill, as the Canadiens have really boxed up the center of the rink to block the shots. Carly Hill with a pair of blocks on this penalty kill, as Stiles has it, bringing it in over the line to the right wing side. Candace Stiles dishes off right side for Jess Jones. Back to the line. Here's Edney taking the pass from Larocque. Centering pass is knocked aside by Labonte. Back to the line it goes. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Larocque has it to Edney. Edney into the slot. Backhand shot. Pinballs off a leg. Knocked down. And skating it away to center is Carly Hill. She will try to send the puck down the ice, but could not advance it much further than the middle of the neutral zone. And now coming up with the puck is Audrey Morin. She picked up her first CWHL point in the first period. A backhand shot just over the crossbar. Pair off now behind the net in the offensive zone for the Canadiens. Will play it out in front. Stiles steals as Bacchia was trying to get a shot away, and Bacchia skates hard back into her own zone to be the first forward back and picks up the disc. Gives it to Laurien Rougeau. Bothered there by King on the far boards in the right wing corner with 6:40 to go in the second period. Still 3-0 Montreal as a rugby scrum forms in the far corner. Rougeau falls on the puck. It comes free, and Stiles has it. Stiles powers it towards the front of the goal. She gets the rebound. They score! Jones knocks it home, and Brampton's on the board, trailing 3-1.
Jess Jones led the Brampton Thunder last season with 7 goals. It's good to see that she's getting Brampton on the board here. We've got ourselves a hockey game as the Brampton Thunder come within 2 of the Canadiennes.
Time of the goal, 13:36 of period number 2.
Jess Jones not only led the team in goals, but she also led them in points with 16 last season.
Solid goal, their first goal of the campaign after being shut out for the first 60-20, that's 93 minutes and 36 seconds. Math was not my forte, folks.
Well, so ends Charlene Labante's shutout streak.
So 3-1 is the score, as we'll await the confirmation of the scoring play here in just a few moments' time. Richard back at the line. There's a shot that is tipped in front, going off of the stick of Vint. And Blais will skate it out to center. Stiles picks up an assist. And that's the only assist on that goal. So Jones from Stiles, and it's 3-1 now. Brampton trailing by a pair. And they're coming on here in the middle stanza, as they've had some quality scoring chances on Labonte here as this period has progressed. Chartrand tries to go behind the net. Stiles steals. Centering pass. Jones just puts it over the bar. A great scoring chance there. And again, Candace Style on the forecheck setting that one up. Back to the blue line to Edney. Edney with a wrist shot. Knocked in front. Jones hits the side of the goal as she had Labonte going right to left and a vacant cage staring her in the face. But Noémie Marin came back and made a good defensive play there. Larocque keeps it at the right point. Jones down low for Stiles. She's going to have to get through the captain of the Stars, Cathy Chartrand. She spins her around, but Bro is there to rim the puck around the boards. Larocque keeps it in at the point. Her slap shot knocked down by King in front as it hit her in the shoulder. And now Cathy Chartrand just lifts the puck out down the ice, and it will not go long enough for an icing call with 4:44 to go in the second period. 3-1 the score in favor of the Canadiens. Here's Rattray in. She shoots. Goes off of Carly Hill's leg over to the far side. McParlin tips it into the corner. Bette battling there with McParlin. And Montreal comes up with it. Carly Hill skates it out to center to Poulin. Poulin dishes off. Left side. Bette goes wide. Centering pass. And Liz Knox knocks it behind the goal. And the net comes off its mooring with 4:21 to go in the middle stanza.
Just before that scoring opportunity for the Canadiennes, Brampton had a couple. Jess Jones was left all alone in close, and she managed to get 2 good scoring chances in. I think that perhaps the Canadiennes should do a better job of watching her and make sure she doesn't get on the board again. She's the lone goal scorer for Brampton in this game.
So at Mr. Beanie tweets, and that's what happens when you get to the net. Go Thunder. So well, I don't think we can disagree with Mr. Beanie on that assessment.
No, not at all. You need to go to the net. And we also saw Marie-Philippe Poulin, not a stranger to going through the net. She's just got such great stick handling ability that you really have to pay attention. You don't want to leave her any open ice.
Fortino banks it off the boards on the far side. Intended for McParlin, picked off there by Bette. She's away on the counterattack. Left side to Poulin, into the slot, down low. Will let to the goal. Backhand shot. Excuse me, that was a great stop there by Knox, who came across and snuck out her left pad to keep this game at 3-1. Bette for Willette, leaving it there momentarily for Poulin. She has to play it back down low for Bette. Centering pass intended for Poulin, but it was knocked aside there by Burchard. And out to center comes Brampton. Rattray on the right wing side. She's got Scanzano going towards the goal. She plays it back towards the blue line, where it's picked up by Bette. One player to beat. That is Simmons. Now she gets some help by Whitaker, and Bette plays it over to the far boards. She comes up with it again, centers it for Clément Aydra, but she was unable to corral the disc, and the puck will be played out to center by Brampton with 3:15 to go in the period. A reminder that coming up in the intermission, Robin will have another interview down low at ice level as the Canadiens attack the goal. A wrist shot was stopped. Aymar now takes towards the goal herself. Big rebound on the far side. Katia Clément Aydra plays it back to the line. Chartrand to Aymar. Back to Chartrand. She'll skate it over to the left side. Wrist shot through traffic. High stick makes contact, and that will stop play with 2:47 to go in the second period.
Marie-Philippe Poulin coming to this team in the offseason was definitely the most talked about move outside of the Canadiennes renaming themselves and giving themselves a nice fancy new logo and a beautiful new jersey. She spent the last 5 years at Boston University. She had a 81 goal and 100 assist career in the NCAA in only 111 games, so she's bringing a lot of firepower to this team.
Stiles will face it off against Marin. Marin wins it, and the puck comes over to the near side. As skating it into the offensive zone is Aymar. She'll get it down low. Marin takes Edney to the end wall, and Brampton will clear it up the near side. Jones tries to play it past Aymar, but a wall of red is forming on the near side. Deschênes pulls the puck free over to Chartrand. Wrist shot knocked down by Larocque in the far side. And the Thunder will control. Edney is forced back below the goal line, places to the far side for the captain, Jocelyn Larocque, and out to center it comes. Aymar back in her own zone, cross-ice pass for Chartrand. Her clearing attempt hits a skate, pinballs over to the near side. Deschênes knocked off the puck as Edney has it with 2 minutes to go in period number 2. Labonte behind the net. We'll leave it there for Chartrand. She goes to Kim Deschênes. Deschênes will play it back down low with a $1.45. There's a steal. Centering pass. Scanzano sends it towards the goal, but it was booted away literally by Cathy Chartrand, who got the soccer kick out to defend the goal. Here's Poulin on a breakaway. Poulin in on the right wing side. Backhand shot that is easily stopped by Knox as she was unable to control the puck. On that breakaway pass was Marie-Philippe Poulin. We'll have a pair of interviews coming up here in the second intermission. Robin Flynn will be ice level for one, and then we will have Shauna Denis from the Montreal Canadiens coming up to join us in the booth as well. With 1:10 to go in the second period, we'll play it deep into the offensive zone. Poulin gives chase. Styles and Poulin go to the end boards, and Brampton has the puck. Fortino gets it to center, but Peroff picks her pocket, and she has it now on the near side after a give and go with Bro. Peroff to Clément Aydra in the slot. Wrist shot just goes wide of the post as she went low stick side on Knox, but could not thread the twine. Behind the net, coming out the near side, that is Burchard, and she will skate across the face of her own goal and take it out the right wing side, rolling it into the offensive zone with 27 seconds to go in period number 2. Still 3-1 in favor of Montreal, much to the pleasure of this large crowd here on Sunday afternoon at the Etienne Desmarteaux Arena. Bro up the near side for Peroff. Peroff to Clément Aydra in the middle of the ice. She leaves it for Bocchia, tips it into the offensive zone. Edney goes back to play it with 3 seconds to go on the clock, and that will do it for period number 2. A very entertaining middle stanza that sees the teams exchange goals, and Montreal has a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes of play. The goal scorers, Caroline Ouellette, her 250th point, snipes at top shelf with a helper going to Carly Hill. That was at 4:55 and at 13:36. Jess Jones replies with her first of the season for Brampton from Candice Stiles, who did all the work down low, creating that opportunity on a good aggressive forecheck. And that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. It's 3-1 for the Canadiennes de Montréal against the Brampton Thunder. So coming up in a few moments' time, Robin Flynn will be down ice level with her second intermission guest when we come back. It's 3-1. The Canadiens leading Brampton. This is CWHL Live on ISI.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey?
Oh, it's more than just hockey, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
Brampton Thunder on the board in the second period. They trail 3-1 to the Canadiennes de Montreal. I'm here with Jess Jones, who's the goal scorer for the Brampton Thunder. What'd you see on that goal?
Styles battled really hard down low, a little bit of a scrum, and then I just came out and I hit it into the net.
After your goal, you had a couple of really great scoring chances in on Charlene Labonte. It seemed like you had a lot of space, but then after that, Carol Amara was pretty much glued to your side.
Yeah, I mean, they pressure on you really quick, so you gotta make a quick play, and a couple times they went off the toe of my stick, and I just missed. Just got to bear down on those.
You're the leading goal scorer for your team, and you led your team in points as well last season. It's only fitting that you would score the first goal for your team, I would suspect. Hopefully there'll be many more to come this season.
I hope so, but Lucky Balance is a good team this year, so hopefully everyone contributes a lot. So,
what does Brampton need to do in the third period to tie this game up?
Keep it simple, battle hard down low, keep the pressure on their D. This is a good team, so we just got to skate with them.
Charlene Labonte is playing a really strong game. It's hard to get any by her right now. She's a goalie of the year last year. What are you seeing? Is there a specific spot that you're aiming for on her?
Not really, just pucks to the net anywhere. Just throw them at her. Keep her busy, so hopefully we can squeak one by her.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, growing up in Canada, I think every kid's dream is to, one day play in the NHL.
When you're a kid, it's the same as the guys. You dream of being in the NHL.
I would have loved to have grown up and been a hockey player and be paid for what I love to do.
It's a little tough for women to find places to play and to play at a high level.
When I tell people that I play pro hockey here, everyone says, oh, there's a women's team?
A tip shot right in, they score! Stopped by Kessler, rebound, they score! Here's a break, Johnston scores!
The best hockey that's played is played right here in the Canadian Women's Hockey League. It's like watching Canada and USA in every single game. It's not just every 4 years. It's just not 2 teams. It's 5 teams.
I think women's hockey has progressed more as a sport than any other sport in the world in the last 15 years. The women are excellent athletes. They're really good hockey players. I think it's terrific hockey.
What we need to do now is get the fan to just come out and support us and follow us.
All right, ladies, we got to be focused. We got to be ready to go. Big start, big start. You've got the top players in the world need a place to play, to train for those 3 years prior to the year of the Olympics. So each team's going to have 4 or 5 or 6 of them. They're very serious. They're very focused. They're very talented. Instantly, you've got the best elite hockey, I think, in the world.
We have some really intense rivalries. All the girls have been playing against each other their entire lives. Yeah, there's an energy there that I think is different than NHL or WHL. For the most part, it's nearly full contact. Especially at this level, the girls are so strong and so fast that it's unavoidable. When you go into the corner battles, I think, are really similar.
For us, it has to do a lot with skill. There's not the big body checks or the hitting. It's still very aggressive.
Like, you don't get the huge open ice hits, but you still have a lot of physicality around the boards.
Get the speed going, guys. We have players who have retired from NCAA. They're out of the school. They're out of CIS. They want to keep playing. There's no money in it for them. So what we have on the squad is actually athletes that are just burning to play hockey.
We had 22 Olympians that attended the Olympics in Sochi. So you can imagine the level of hockey that is being played here.
Here we go, nice breakout team!
People who play can relate to this. It's an escape from real life. You know, with school being difficult, hockey, it's an escape from that. And that's something I'm not ready to give up yet.
In general, they're putting their careers on hold to be able to play this game that they love.
I think I'd miss it too much right now if I were to quit. I just love to play the sport that I love, and so, you know, it's worth all the sacrifice and everything that comes with it.
There is a life during hockey. We sometimes help them find jobs if they want to come to a certain city and they have never been there.
I looked for work after I moved here. Hockey was, you know, #1, and I was going to make it work after that. I've been really fortunate. My company is extremely supportive. Extra vacation days if I need, and you know, leaving early when I need to. They've even come out to a lot of my games, which has been pretty cool.
A lot of employers are kind of excited to have a player of that caliber because they're filled up with commitment and focus and discipline and work ethic and that kind of thing.
I love the fact that 95% of them are, you know, Ivy League graduates, and the fact of being brilliant in what they do. I always say to people, if you want to really see the true passion of hockey, follow one of our players.
It's hard to get a lot of games in. You have to play on the weekends because everyone has full-time jobs.
I'll have to take a vacation day on a Friday. We'll leave Friday 5 a.m. for the airport, play Friday night, play Saturday night, play Sunday morning, go straight to the airport after our game, get on a flight, get in at 2 in the morning or so, and then I have to be at work the next morning. So, you know, that's really tough.
You maneuver your life around your kids, you maneuver your life around your partners, you maneuver your life around your family, and all knowing perfectly well that, one, you're playing because you love to play, but But two, you're playing because you're making it different for those that are coming in the future. The role models that we are creating within the Canadian Women's Hockey League is massive in the fact that everything they represent, everything they stand for is what I would want my daughter to grow up to be, because they're following a dream and a passion. So, you know, in the past 7 years, I think we've come a long way in recognition, but you're competing with so much, I mean, you know, in the entertainment world.
I'm a true believer that the foundation that has been built with the CWHL, it is the one that will bring us that success of a professional women's hockey league and eventually get the players paid.
When I started playing, I had no other option. You know, I was playing with the boys or nothing, really. There's been so much growth, so hopefully one day it'll get the exposure that it deserves.
You know, women's hockey is not NHL hockey. It never will be the same as the NHL game because of the physiological differences, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a great stand on its own game. It's baby steps, and it's not obviously happening as fast as everybody would like it to, but, you know, good people are involved with the league right now, and more are becoming interested.
I think this is a good product, one we can all be proud of. There is no reason that we can't grow this sport and get it to a level where women can play professionally and earn a living doing it just like men do.
When the Olympics happened, it was interesting the amount of calls I received, the unfairness of our women not being paid. And how could we have men competing for the gold medal and making, you know, $25 billion with their salaries all added up, and our women making $0? In all honesty, the 13 million people who watched that final game, they made an impact with the sponsors. The simplicity for us is that in order to support our league, in order to make sure our players get paid, we need you. We need you to buy a ticket. And in $15, you will secure the future for women to be paid.
Welcome back to CWHL Live here from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal. It's 3-1, the Canadiens leading the Brampton Thunder after 40 minutes to play. John Bauer, Robin Flynn to my extreme right, and joining us in the middle is Shauna Denis from the Montreal Canadiens NHL Hockey Club. And Shauna, we would like to talk a little bit about the partnership that has been developed between the Canadiens and the Canadiennes. How did this all come about?
Well, it was actually brought to us by Brenda Andrus, the commissioner of the league, a couple years ago. She brought it to Jeff Molson, and it's something that we were looking at doing. We wanted to get more involved with women's hockey. So we worked with Jeff, we worked with Kevin Gilmore, our COO, and down through to Dino DiPancrazio in our marketing department, put together the proposal that we thought. And for us, it was more about, we didn't just want it to be a financial commitment. We wanted this to be something where we were working with grassroots initiatives. So we're going to be working with Les Canadiennes to do some of our skills clinics with girls and really get involved at a minor hockey level as well. So setting the role models from this level here all the way down to try to grow the female game in Quebec.
It was great at the logo unveiling at the Bell Center to see all of Les Canadiennes at the game. Are we going to see any of the Habs here on perhaps some of their off days?
It's obviously tough with Saturdays because quite often they'll play on Saturdays, but it's definitely something that we have available in terms of tickets, and for sure you'll see Jeff out here every once in a while, so it'd be nice to have the guys come out here and support the team though, for sure.
So Shauna, you're a former varsity athlete at McGill University. You played women's hockey. How important is it for, you know, when you were playing, there wasn't a lot of female role models. You were at the stage where you were between when the national team started, you were already in hockey.
Yeah.
So how important is it to have the CWHL as well as the national team program as an opportunity to showcase a sporting opportunity for young girls?
It's definitely important. I mean, I started playing, I was 5, so it was in 89, and obviously it wasn't in the Olympics till 98, so I started playing boys hockey. When I came to McGill, Kim St. Pierre was there, and she was in that first group of role models, and that's when you see now girls starting to play with other girls. They have to start novice Adam, and they grow through the sport, and that's how you get girls, just finding the love for the game and having fun playing, and it's that team environment in the dressing room that I think keeps girls playing. So I do think it's important for girls to see other girls playing, and having it at a pro level is definitely something that's going to have little girls growing up aspiring to be like, not just Charlene Labonte, but girls like Carly Hill out there that you see them, and you know, all these girls, what they're doing, and they're working at the same time. I think it's really inspiring for young girls.
I know for me it's really awesome to see so many girls from McGill playing for the Canadiens, because I went to McGill. I know you went to McGill as well. So what's that like to see some of these girls playing that went to your alma mater?
It's fun, actually. I have a lot of old teammates too playing right now. There's quite a few of them there that I played with, so it's fun to be out here and supporting them. And it's been fun for me because obviously with the Canadiens, my main job, I do Habs TV and magazine and that kind of thing. I was brought into the partnership because of my link to hockey, so I was really happy to be able to be involved with these girls to help them and support them to kind of get this off the ground with the Canadiens. It's fun.
Final question, where do you think that this partnership can go?
Well, right now we have a deal signed for a long-term deal with them, and honestly, I think that it's something that we're looking at now as a first year as kind of trial and error. We're seeing how things can develop and grow. So far, it's been great working with them, though. We're open to a lot of different things, and I don't know if there's a limit to it. I think it's something that will grow with the league, and we're really behind this. When we announced the partnership, Jeff Molson mentioned that the full organizational support, and honestly, even in coming up with the branding and logo, I think there were 16 people involved in that process. This is really something that the whole organization is behind, so sky's the limit.
Well, Shauna Denis, thank you very much for stopping by in the second intermission to talk about the partnership between the Canadiens and les Canadiennes.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Shauna Denis from the Montreal Canadiens. When we come back, third period action, the Canadiens lead the Brampton Thunder 3-1 after 40 minutes to play. This is CWHL Live on ISI. Montreal leading Brampton after 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal in the second period favored Les Canadiennes by a total of 9 for a game total of 20, and Brampton 7 for a game total of 12. Shots, and the most important score is that it's 3-1 in favor of Les Canadiennes here as we head to the third period. Robin, your thoughts on period number 2?
Well, we definitely saw a lot more from Brampton in that period. They managed to score a goal and get on the board, which was huge. Jess Jones is having a great game. After she scored, she had a couple of chances right in front of Charlene Labonte. And after that, I mean, Carol Lamar was practically glued to her hips. You know, you got to make sure that you don't give her any open ice because she was the leading scorer on this team last year. So if you're giving her too much space, she's going to capitalize on that. And they're only down by 2, so Brampton can definitely come back in this game.
Elsewhere in the CWHL this afternoon, Boston and Toronto still scoreless after 40 minutes of, midway through the second period. They're not quite through 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal are in favor of Toronto, 20-14. So a much more even game in Toronto than 24 hours ago.
It's a really great atmosphere in here right now. Wouldn't be a hockey game if you didn't have a cowbell going. If you're at home, you can definitely tweet along with us. Make sure you're using the hashtag CWHL Live and get in on the action.
King off of the face-off for Brampton controlled. She rolls it into Montreal territory. Backpedaling was Rougeau. She plays it over to Chartrand ahead for Ouellette. Jones steals in neutral ice, plays it back for Bouchard. And Jones has to come back into her own zone to sweep the puck up the boards, but Ouellette keeps it in at the blue line. Bette giving chase as the puck is swept over to the near side for Fortino. Fortino goes across the face of her own goal, far side for Bouchard, and now she will dump it off of the near boards down the ice into Montreal territory. Brampton goes for a partial line change as they change up their blue liners. Skating out to center is Marie-Philippe Poulin, gives it to Rougeau. Laurien Rougeau in over the blue line, stick check there effectively by Becca King. Poulin with a shot as Bette got her stick on it, but tipped it the wrong way as it went out the back door. On the forecheck there, that is Emar, but was unable to get a shot away as the puck is played back deep into Montreal territory by Noémie Marin. Rattray centers it. Emar can't sweep it away. McParlin has it, tries to bank it off of Labonte, but coming back to play it was Marin. And Blais has it away at center on the right wing side, chips it around Edney. She gets the puck. Deschênes behind the goal with it, tries to reverse it. She does. Here's Marin, tries to stuff. Short shot, she does. She scores! Noémie Marin! And it's 4-1.
Noémie Marin is definitely an underrated offensive threat on this team. She had 13 goals, 5 assists in just 18 games last year. It's her first season this year actually coaching women's hockey over at John Abbott College. She was an NCAA finalist for Play of the Year in both 2006 and 2007. She played at University of Minnesota Duluth.
So 4-1 here at 1:17 of the third period. And that might be a key play in today's hockey game as Marin steals it in the corner and powers it out to the front of the goal.
The Canadiennes are using the same goal song this year as the Montreal Canadiens, which is nice to hear. The Allez Montréal song playing in the building for the 4th time today.
Loco Locas is the rap group that produces that song. I'm not a big rap fan, but that is actually my favorite Francophone rap group is Loco Locas.
I don't think I could name another Francophone rap group, to be honest.
You're right, I couldn't either, but I just wanted to look special. But thank you. So 4-1's the score here as the Canadiens are charged with an icing. Rep your team everywhere. Let's try that again. Rep your team everywhere you go with merch from the CWHL shop. Pick up yours today at shop.cwhl.ca. Here is Blay in her own zone. Actually, that's Leslie Olds. Over to the near side. Here is Perov. Ahead to Clément Aydra. She's knocked down just inside the blue line. Gets back up. Continues her pursuit towards the goal to Perov. And it goes off her skate and out the back door. And now a follow-up attempt. Knox gets her glove down on it. Now a pushing match between Leslie Olds, who has been known in her time in the CIS of being a very tenacious player. She gets a couple of pushes out there in front of the net.
She actually holds the record with McGill all-time for penalty minutes. She had 324 penalty minutes in her time playing for the McGill Martlets.
Which I wouldn't thought could be possible after Alyssa Chechere's career. Hey Chech, I hope you're watching today. The Martlets are actually not playing this weekend in CIS action. They've been in the NCAA the last couple of days, and they're back home now to start the season next week.
Well, you know what they say about records, they're made to be broken. I'm sure there's somebody else who's even a little bit more of a grinder, shall we say, that'll get in somebody's face in CIS.
Good point. Bacchia on the near side in her own zone, plays it up the boards, but King steals it and skates it back into the corner. Bro hammered from behind. That creates a turnover, and Candace Stiles centers it, but there was nobody standing on the right wing side as all of the white jerseys had converged below the goal line. At the left point, Dana Simmons plays it down low. Puck comes out in front. Stiles with a wrist shot that goes wide of the target. Here's Jones centering pass, broken up there by Cathy Chartrand with her big 6.5-foot reach. She'll stick handle out to center. Gives to Bacchia at the blue line. Her pocket picked by Whitaker. She could not spring anybody free momentarily on the counterattack, but now here is Rattray in. Takes a shot, stopped by Labonte, rebound corralled by Bacchia, and she will play it up the far side. And Lachance had the puck knocked off her stick, and an offside call against Brampton.
Cathy Chartrand just skating off now to the bench. This is her 3rd season as captain of the Canadiennes, previously as the Stars. She stands at almost 6 feet tall. She's definitely a staple on this blue line. Another girl to come out of McGill where she had 3 CIS championships, and she also holds the record there for goals, assists, and points from a defender.
Here's a centering pass. Bette with a shot, the rebound. Willette standing on the doorstep, and the puck goes out the back door. Not sure how that ended up going from in front of the net to the far corner as Bette has it, chips it down low for Willette. She couldn't get her stick on it, and a penalty coming up here by the back official. It's going to be a cross-checking call, and it is going to go against Jamie Lee Rattray of the Brampton Thunder. So the Canadiens go to their 4th power play of the hockey game, 1 for 3 thus far on the afternoon.
Means more hard work for Liz Knox, who seems to be, they're going really low on her, particularly glove side. So I guess the book is out on Liz Knox, that's where you want to go, but she's doing a pretty good job right now of keeping her team in this hockey game.
Willette, Bette, and Chartrand up front. Willette and Rougeau on the backhand, and now Chartrand comes back to the blue line. 2 big, powerful shots. Chartrand shoots! It's tipped by Bette, just wide of the mark. Burchard up the near side, kept in by Caroline Willette. Willette dishes off right side, give and go with Poulin. Willette now, as Chartrand is on the near side, was expecting the pass from Poulin just out of her reach, and the puck is backhanded down the ice, out to center ice actually by Courtney Burchard. Here is Willette, coming in on the right wing side, slams the brakes on in the corner, leaves it there for Bette back to the blue line, just out of the reach of Marie-Philippe Poulin, and she will have to come over to the near side as Montreal tags up.
Caroline Willette, now the first player on Les Canadiennes to have a scoring streak going. She's got goals in each of Montreal's games this season.
Willette back to the blue line. Rougeau, wrist shot, hits a stick in front by Jones. Down low, Poulin leaves it for Bette. She tries to swipe it into the cage, but that doesn't connect. as Rougeau plays it down low again for Bette. Bette in front. Ouellette, the Canadiens collapsing in on goal, but nobody able to get their stick down with 50 seconds to go in the power play. Stiles with a steal, sends it to the blue line. Rougeau keeps it in. Jones was sniffing around there trying to get a shorthanded opportunity as there was no player back. But Rougeau, here's a long shot, kicked aside by Knox, far side. Bette controls the puck. This number one power play unit has been out there for the entire power play as the Let's Go Canadiens starts. Here's Poulin, left side for Ouellette, into the slot. Rougeau with a low shot that is blockered aside to the near corner. Ouellette again with the puck, top of the umbrella, takes a slap shot, hits Jones in the skate. She felt that shot, and now Ouellette and Poulin will go to the bench with 10 seconds to go in the power play.
Jones favoring that left leg. Looks like maybe she's got a bit of a stinger right now.
Chartrand, top of the arc, takes the shot. It gets through, and a kick saved by Liz Knox at the end of the power play, and Brampton's back to full strength. Burchard in, takes a shot, and she doesn't miss by much on the far side as she got the puck just over the pad of Labonte. Scanzano with the puck. McParlin driving towards the goal, took the pass, couldn't get a shot away as the puck was bouncing. And now, Clément Aydra will play it out to center. Jordana Peroff into the offensive zone, giving attack. Edney to the far side. She'll play it out to center. And the Canadiens will play it back into their own zone. Clément Aydra in a bit of a shoving match with Larocque in the neutral ice. Hill comes in on the left wing side. Carly Hill towards the goal. Edney swipes the puck behind the goal to Scanzano, far side. Nice little backhand pass. Springs away Rattray. Rattray comes in on the right side. Had McParlin going towards the goal, but Peroff a good back check there as the forward comes back and bothers McParlin enough so that she couldn't catch up to the disc. Here's Noémie Marin coming in over the line on the left wing side. She has just scored to make it 4-1. Marin below the goal line she goes. Comes out the far side to the hash marks, gives it to Rougeau, tries to give it back to Marin. Actually, she may have been looking to go for Deschênes in the corner. It hits Marin, and Richards is back the other way for Brampton. Centering pass on the rush, just out of the reach of Hannah Horn. And back the other way comes Emmanuel Blais. Blais into the offensive zone. Side steps Simmons behind the goal. The puck goes. Here's Kim Deschênes. Deschênes will roll the puck back down into the far corner. Blais battling with Simmons. Simmons trying to pick up some lumber in the corner. And now Montgomery has it for Brampton, starting the rush up on the near side. Tips it ahead for Richards. She gets it out to center ice, where she's met by 3 red jerseys. And Whitaker has to start it back up again, going cross ice for Montgomery, out of her reach. And Rougeau plays it over to Bro. Bro up the middle, intercepted by Jess Jones, the goal scorer for the Thunder here, as Bocchia is back. Bocchia turned it over as Stiles on the forecheck, has the puck in the near corner. King punches the puck free, tries to go out the far side. Rougeau seals her off. And Rougeau will reverse it to Bro behind the net. Coming up the near side. Good forecheck again by this number one line for Brampton, hemming Montreal in the zone. Montreal, too many players on the ice there. Stiles, drop pass. King shoots, stop, rebound is corralled by Bocchia, and she will get it to Audrey Morin, who skates it out to center. Morin to her former Stinger line mate, Bocchia, over to the near side. Puck rolls into the corner. King blows a tire on the near side, and she falls on the puck, and that will stop proceedings with 12:13 to go in regulation time.
Charlene Labonte hasn't had to make a lot of really big saves today, but when she does, she has looked so technically sound. She doesn't go down too soon. She hugs those posts appropriately, and what I notice most about her, reminds me a lot of Carey Price for the Montreal Canadiens, is that she is calm. You don't see her getting frazzled at all, and she stays perfectly comfortable in that crease.
Chartrand with the puck. Placed to Bette, but McParlin comes up with it for Brampton. Up the left wing side, Scanzano in to the half boards, now takes it into the corner, reverses it back to Larocque, over to Rattray. She fans on a one-timer attempt, and the puck rolls into the near corner. Here's Poulin skating out to center. Dishes off right side Bette. Bette with Hill going towards the goal. Ouellette fanned on the centering attempt, and it was knocked away by Larocque over to the near side. Behind her own net, Edney. Sarah Edney will reverse to Larocque, the captain for the Thunder. With 11:33 to go here in regulation time, the Thunder down 4-1. Montgomery backhands the puck and gives chase into the offensive zone. She's the solo player on this rush. Richard now comes over the boards, joins her, plays it back to Montgomery just out of her reach. Imar behind the net for the Canadiens. She will roll it over to the near side. Whitaker pinching in, keeps it in, takes it into the corner. Now dishes off to fielding Montgomery. Montgomery leaves it there in the corner for Cation. As Brampton starts to pick up the physical play here. Richards on the far side, battling with Blais. Blais will punch it back to the blue line where it's kept in. Here's Whitaker now on the right point. Takes a shot, goes wide of the mark, hits the dasher, comes out far side. Stiles plays it back to the blue line. Simmons plays it behind the net, tries to go back for Stiles. And now Montreal finally clears the zone as Katia Clément-Aydra brings it out to center. Clément-Aydra towards the goal. She worked up a check and a centering pass, and a great stop by Knox. As diving in there was Leslie Olds trying to chip the puck over the pad of the netminder.
Looked to me like Clément-Aydra was tripped up a little bit there, but no call on the ice.
Paroff battling with Whitaker. The puck goes down low. Here's Marin over to the far side for Blais. Puck just out of her reach, and Jones will tip it to the blue line, kept in by a pinching Rougeau. Blais now locked up against the boards by Whitaker, and Blais is going to be penalized for roughing as she got the her glove up into the face mask of Leah Whitaker. And Brampton will go to their fourth power play of the hockey game.
Wasn't enough time there for Knox to skate off for them to get the extra attacker, but she headed off awfully quickly to that bench, hoping that they could get a chance to score there on Labonte.
On our out-of-town scoreboard in Toronto, it's Toronto 1, Boston 1. Elizabeth Tremblay scoring from Kickham and Watchorn for Boston, and Jessica Villa a few moments prior gives Toronto an early lead. Ashton Hogan and Katie Gaskin with the helper, so 1-1 late in period number 2. So Knox leaves the puck for Fortino. Burchard on the back end. McParlin, Scanzano, and Rattray on the attack up front for Brampton on the power play. Rattray back to Fortino. Fortino dishes off to Burchard. Her shot through traffic, and Labonte takes the shot in the breadbasket and holds on.
That was a hard shot. You could hear that one from all the way up here in the top of the stands. But Labonte, as I've said, she's just looked so sound. Definitely no issues there. She's the Canadiens' best power play killer.
So we'll face it off to the left of Labonte. Same offensive unit out there for Brampton, but Scanzano is going to be thrown out of the draw. Rattray will come in to take the face-off against Noémie Marin. She is penalty killing with Anne-Sophie Bate, Carly Hill, and Cathy Chartrand. Bate will lift the puck on the backhand down the ice. A minute 20 to go in this Brampton power play. They need a goal here. 9:09 to go in the third period, down by a field goal. Rattray through neutral ice. Cuts wide left side, leaves it for Scanzano. Bate almost steals. Marin tried to capture the disc as well, but Scanzano was able to force the puck over to the near boards. Burchard over the far side. Here's a pass to Rattray. Scores! Great pass by Kristen Richards over to Rattray, and she has scored to make this the mark 4-2.
There was no chance for Labonte on that one. Tic-tac-toe play from the Brampton Thunder. Rattray cuts that lead in half. Now it's 4-2. But, I mean, Charlotte Labonte, what was she going to do on that one right there? That was a quick shot and release from Rattray.
11:14 time of the power play marker for Brampton. Rattray her first of the season, and it's 4-2. And Brampton has time to get back in this hockey game. Here's Willette on the near side, chips it into the offensive zone. Richard and Fortino getting the assists on the goal to make the score 4-2. Brampton trailing here with 8:15 to go in regulation time. Jess Jones upended at the Montreal blue line, and the puck is sent back down into Brampton territory. Here's Edney curling in her own zone over to the captain, Larocque. Larocque backpedaling Out of the watchful eye of Caroline Ouellette, far side. Scanzano comes back, plays it to Larac, behind her own goal. Up the near side for King. She'll chip it out to center. Rattray with it. Rattray, who has just scored here, brings it into the offensive zone, goes wide, centering pass. She was able to control the disc, but it was broken up there nicely by Karel Emar. And here's Leslie Olds on the counterattack. She's got a couple of players with her. She drops it to Peroff. Her wrist shot hits a leg, and McParlin will play it behind the net for Whitaker. Far side, just out of the reach of Simmons. And Clément Aydra has it for the Canadiens. Peroff behind the net, comes out far side. She will play it behind the goal. Simmons tries to get there. Olds goes hard to the boards. And Brampton will clear it up the near side, up the far side. Scanzano will skate it out to center. She is stick checked there by Cathy Chartrand. That long reach of Cathy Chartrand, you can't get anywhere near her before her if you're going to advance the disc.
No, absolutely not. She's just so tall compared to the other girls in the league, who the average is about 5'5", 5'6", and she's standing at about 6 feet tall, so it's a little bit tough to get anything by her.
And she's got that big reach as a result of it.
She's like the Zdeno Chara of the CWHL.
That's actually a very good comparison, especially with her shot. Carly Hill in neutral ice plays it back to the aforementioned Chartrand. Pass to the right wing side, just out of the reach of Kim Deschênes. Fortino back in her own zone to Whitaker for Brampton. Starting the rush up with a cross-ice pass to the left side for Hannah Horn. And here is Deschênes on the counterattack for Montreal. Centering pass play is there, and a great stop by Liz Knox, who went down in the butterfly and put the paddle down to take away the 5-hole.
Wow, what a chance right there for the Canadiennes to try and put 5 goals on the board for this team in this game. But I mean, Liz Knox has just been so good in this game. The Canadiennes are coming at her firing on all cylinders, and she's managing to make the saves. Noticing that they're not going really high on her in this game, they're continuing to shoot low. I'm wondering if maybe top corner next time around would get them a goal.
Ouellette with a drive off the face-off, and a kick save by Knox as the puck is cleared out to center. Carly Hill with it. She'll wrist it back into the offensive zone, right in on Knox. With 6:12 to go in the third period, 4-2 Montreal leading. Hill at center as Jess Jones was looking to sneak in behind her, intercepting the pass. Springing Ouellette on the right wing side. Here is Ouellette, centering pass, broken up there nicely by Candice Stiles. And a penalty coming up here to the Canadiens as Marie-Philippe Poulain will get the gate for tripping up number 8, Laura Fortino.
Marie-Philippe Poulain is the only member of that line in this game. Bétain and Caroline Ouellette both scoring goals today. Poulain not on the board, but she had 2 yesterday, so she'll probably get a free pass this time around. But now she's off to the sin bin, so that's not so great if she wants to score. She won't be able to do it for the next 2 minutes.
The next CWHL live broadcast comes your way on October 24th as Boston travels to Calgary to take on the Inferno. Join Marshall and Jeff Stevenson for all the play-by-play action at 6:15 Mountain Time, 8:15 Eastern next week as Boston travels to Calgary. And other viewers can catch Toronto at Brampton on the 25th as Nico Cardarelli and Darren Alley have the call 1:30 next Sunday from Brampton. On the power play, on the right wing side, that's Rattray. She just scored a few minutes ago to cut the lead in half to make it 4-2. That was on the power play. Brampton thus far in the game, 1-4-3. At the left point, that's Fortino. Over to Burchard, back to Fortino, winding, shooting, looking for a tip in front, and it goes all the way through to the back door. And it comes back to Fortino. Burchard, right side, down low, Scanzano. 5 minutes to go in regulation time. 1:10 on the power play. Fortino winding, firing, wide of the mark, hits the side of the cage, bounces out in front. Scanzano back to Fortino. Burchard, left side, Scanzano. Fortino going towards the goal. One player back at the top of the arc. That is Burchard. Over to Fortino. She curls between the rings, now goes to the forehand. Dishes off left side, Scanzano. Rattray is in front of the cage, as is McParland. Burchard looking for the shot, feathers it through. Rattray in front, spins, fires, stopped by the netminder Labonte. And again, a quick whistle in anticipation of a stop being made, but the puck is loose. And now Montreal, I think, is going to get another penalty for a cross-check.
Well, looks like Brampton's a little bit frustrated again with that early whistle. That puck was still loose, and they wanted to get that rebound and get another chance at scoring on the power play.
A roughing call against Chartrand as she barreled over McParland, who was standing on the top of the crease. And now 41-second two-player advantage for the Thunder to get right back in this hockey game.
The Thunder weren't able to capitalize on their power plays in the first and the second period, but they did manage to do so in this period. They definitely picked a good time to start getting things going. They've got 2 Canadiens sitting in the box right now. They'll have a 5-on-3 opportunity, and this is the time right now if they want to make sure that they get into this hockey game. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the ice.
Brampton has called for time to discuss things over in a 5-on-3 power play for 41 seconds. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in the final couple of minutes of this hockey game. Just a reminder, fans, if you want to find out when your team's battles next, check out the schedule at CWHL.ca to make sure that you never miss any of this exciting women's hockey action. And of course, if you can't be at the rink, catch CWHL games in HD at CWHLlive.com, and hence why we've rebranded the broadcast this year, CWHL Live.
If you haven't been out to see a game, I would definitely recommend it. You come once, you're going to be addicted. You're seeing Olympians playing on the ice. The caliber of play is excellent. It's a great atmosphere at this game. There's free parking. It's easy to get to by public transit. You go to Joliet Metro, take the 67 North. That's how I came here today. Doesn't take you very long.
And of course, it's very affordable anywhere across the league to see this great group of women playing an outstanding level of hockey. So a 5-on-3, Burchard, left side, that is Fortino, down low, give and go with Jones. 23 seconds left on the 2-player advantage. Burchard couldn't control the pass from Fortino. Now they'll exchange places as Rattray tries to go short side high on Labonte, but there was nothing to do there. Burchard down low for Jess Jones. 7 seconds left on the 2-player advantage. Jones, centering pass! Great stop by Labonte as she snuck out the left pad to deny the scoring chance with 3 seconds left on the 2-player advantage.
Man, did Labonte ever read that play well. Jamie Lee Rattray was standing in the exact same spot as she was when she scored her goal a little bit earlier. She was ready for that puck. There was a wide open net for her to score on. Instead, they took the shot, and Labonte read the play perfectly well. She got down in time to make the save.
That is a huge stop with 3 seconds left in the 2-player advantage. Still 4-2, and now it's a 5-on-4. Brampton has pulled their goalkeeper with 3:49 to go in regulation time, so it's a 6-on-4 power play. Burchard takes a shot, stopped by Labonte. Puck goes out the back door. Jess Jones with it, back to the blue line for Fortino. Fortino, top of the arc, dishes off. Jones, left circle, takes the shot. Rougeau goes low and blocks it. Poulin puts the shoulder into her player, and then Jess Jones hauls down Poulin, and that will even things up here with 3:29 to go in the third period.
That's a really risky move, I would say, for Tyler Fines, head coach of the Brampton Thunder, pulling the goaltender to get the extra attacker on the power play with over 3 minutes left to play in the third period. His team down by 2. He doesn't really have any choice at this point, and now looks like we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey for a little bit, unless they decide to pull Liz Knox out yet again.
It's true. 54 seconds left in a 4-on-4 situation. The Montreal will go to a 1:06 power play. Poulin, MR, and Ouellette, as well as Carly Hill out there for Montreal. Scanzano, Rattray for Brampton on the blue line. It is Edney, and Larockin, the goalkeeper, is out for the extra attacker, playing 5-on-4 as Ouellette has it. Coming out to center, Carol Ouellette, empty net, wrist shot goes off of Edney, and it's controlled by McParland. McParland reverses behind the net, giveaway. Ouellette upended in the corner. She hit her head on the boards as she fell backwards, no penalty on the play, and here comes Brampton out to center. It's a 4-on-3. McParland stick checked at the blue line, and here's a steal. Poulin, empty net, shoots, hits the goal post. 12 seconds left in the 4-on-4 situation, which is a 5-on-4 for Montreal. Aymar with a shot. That goes wide of the empty cage. Now, Montreal will go to the power play with the Brampton net empty with 2:30 to go in the third period. Scanzano, right side. Scanzano loses the puck. Hill to the far corner. Bro up the boards. Ann-Sophie Bate almost to center. Rolls it into the offensive zone, and it is going to be an no icing as it was waved off at the last moment as Noémie Marin was in on the forecheck. Stay tuned immediately following the game for the Tim Hortons 3 Stars as Bette shoots into the empty net. It goes wide. A great diving play there by Burchard to help the puck go wide. 30 seconds left to go on this Montreal power play. Skating 5 aside. Bette takes a shot. Rebound in front as it was knocked down by Fortino, who had to play goal as Knox is on the bench. Wow, Candace Stiles places it in the offensive zone. 14 seconds left in the Montreal power play, and Brampton's net is empty. Bette banks it out to center. Burchard with it. She looks over to the near side, gives it to Fortino. Fortino skates it to the half boards, puts the brakes on, gives it to Candace Stiles. Into the slot for McParland, and she couldn't control the saucer pass that was too high. It's now 6-on-5 in favor of Brampton here, as the extra attacker is still out there for the Thunder. Blais goes in with Amar on the far side. Puck comes back to the blue line. Here's Burchard to Fortino. Fortino, wrist shot through traffic, knocked down in front. Willette gathers the puck in and will play it to Poulin at center. Poulin, wrist shot, empty net, scores! Marie-Philippe Poulin with her second goal of the season. Her third goal of the season, excuse me. And that will seal the deal for the Canadiennes.
Good to see Poulin scoring that empty netter there. She took a shot a little bit earlier and it went off the post, reminiscent of what happened to Team USA in the Olympics. That post kept Team Canada in the game, allowed them to come back from being down 2-0 and ultimately win the gold medal. Marie-Philippe Poulin was the hero in that game, scoring the gold medal sealing goal. She gets the empty netter here, and as I was saying earlier, she didn't have a goal tonight. She was the only member of her line not to score. Well, she just proved me wrong. She's got another goal tonight, her third on the season.
Valiant effort for Brampton, though, late in this hockey game, as they pulled out all the stops just shy of the kitchen sink, as Poulin picks up her third goal of the season into the empty net, and it's 5-2 in favor of Les Canadiennes. Oles on the far side, backhands it out to center. Larocque backpedaling towards her own blue line. Jordana Peroff giving chase. Puck up the near side. Cathy Chartrand steals for the Habs. Clément Aydra to Peroff. She is pitchforked at the blue line. Montgomery back into the offensive zone for Brampton, but the Canadiens will play it down the ice. 13 seconds to go in this hockey game. Montreal will move to 2-0 on the campaign. Here's Bette with a steal. She can't advance it into the offensive zone, but it doesn't matter much, as the Canadiens de Montréal will skate to a 5-2 victory here this afternoon at the Arena Etienne Desmarteaux. The fans applauding both teams for a great performance this afternoon, and Brampton, a valiant effort in the last 4 minutes of regulation time, where they played with the net empty, including on a 4-on-4 situation, and shorthanded. Their blue liners and forwards coming back, doing a great job creating some opportunities by stopping the puck from going into the empty cage. So in a few minutes' time, we will have our Tim Hortons 3 stars for you in today's game, as well as Robin Flynn will be down ice level with her player of the game interview. So the final score tonight, Montreal 5, Brampton 3. Let's take a look at the scoring summary of tonight's hockey game. Katia Clément Aydra opens up the scoring with her first ever CWHL goal at 11:15 of the first period. Helpers going to Ann-Sophie Bette and Audrey Morin. That makes it 1-0. Bette scores at 12:34 on the power play to make it 2-0, with helpers going to Lauriane Rougeau and to Cathy Chartrand. And the Montreal takes a 3-0 lead early in period number 2 at the 4:55 mark, as Willette picks up her 250th career point with a blast just under the bar. Helper going to Carly Hill. That makes it 3-0. Jess Jones replies for Brampton at 13:36 of the second period to cut the lead to 3-1, and that's where we stood after 40 minutes of play. Candace Stiles picked up the assist. Montreal at 1:17. Noémie Marin scores to make it 4-1. Before Jamie Lee Rattray scores on the power play at 11:14 from Laura Fortino and Courtney Burchard, and that made it a 3-2 or a 4-2 hockey game before Marie-Philippe Poulin picks up her third of the season into the empty net at 18:58 to wrap up the scoring. 5-2 is the final score between Montreal and Brampton. Brampton outshot Montreal in the third period 11-7. So the game totals for Brampton 22 shots on goal, and for Montreal, 27. The final score in today's game, Brampton falls to 0-2 as the Canadiens defeat them 5-2. It's time now for our Tim Hortons 3 stars of today's game. So Carly Hill is the second star of tonight's game. And the number 1 star of tonight's game as we're just waiting here a moment, is Caro Ouellette, who picks up her 250th point in her CWHL career. As she comes onto the ice right now to the applause of the Montreal faithful, and she will throw a t-shirt into the stands here to a young girl in the front row. So the final score, Montreal 5 and Brampton 2. In just a few moments' time, Robin Flynn will be standing by with her player of the game interview coming up from ice level, and I do believe that it could possibly be the captain, Caroline Ouellette, as Carly Hill and Caro are out on the ice taking the traditional post-game 3-star photo. So we'll take a quick timeout and come back in just a moment with Robin Flynn with her player of the game interview from ice level. This is CWHL Live on ISI.
Caroline Ouellette was the first star of this hockey game, 5-2 win over the Brampton Thunder. She also scored her 250th career point. What did that feel like to score that point on a goal?
Oh, it's a pretty special moment. I didn't know I was that close until this morning. I saw it on Twitter, so it feels pretty special. I feel like I've been part of a great hockey organization with the Montreal Stars. Obviously, we've been very successful. We had a lot of talent over the years, and I think that helped me, being able to help my team offensively. But, this is a new season, a new organization, and I'm very proud to be a Canadian and proud of our team effort this weekend.
It was a really great weekend for you guys, especially in terms of your special teams, managing to capitalize on your opportunities. Is there anything different that you guys are doing on the power play this year?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of people that can shoot, that can score. So we got to make sure that we move the puck well and that we shoot. Often we tend to overpass and try to be fancy. So we all have good shots. So we want to put it to the net and crash the net for rebounds. And I have to give credit to Brampton. They fought for 60 minutes and they came back close. We had to defend 3-on-5. We did a great job there, and that was probably a game changer for us.
Your male counterparts, the Montreal Canadiens, are 6-0 on the season. Now you guys are also undefeated, 2-0 this weekend. You guys think you'll have the same amount of sustainable pressure going forward as the boys do?
We're very proud of the Montreal Canadiens. We're a huge fan of the team, and it's incredible to see the success that they've had so far. And hopefully we can be inspired and continue on our road to success moving forward.
Thanks very much, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin Flynn, for your great color commentary this evening and for your interviews throughout today's game. Caroline Ouellette, the Tim Hortons #1 star of the hockey game. The final score in tonight's game, the Canadiennes de Montréal defeat the Brampton Thunder by a final score of 5-2. Next week, we have a pair of games in the CWHL on CWHL Live, and it begins on Saturday evening at 6:15 Mountain Time, 8:15 Eastern, as the Boston Blades travel to Calgary to take on the Inferno, and then the Brampton Thunder on Sunday afternoon will be hosting the Toronto Furies to wrap up our coverage next weekend in the CWHL. So the final score in today's game, the Canadiennes de Montreal defeat the Brampton Thunder by a score of 5-2. On behalf of Robin Flynn and our entire ISI crew here in Montreal, led by the lovely and talented Matt Copeland, this is John Bauer bidding you farewell from the Etienne Desmarteau Arena in Montreal. The CWHL 2015-16 season is brought to you in part by Scotiabank, by the Dairy Farmers of Canada, by Tim Hortons, by Toyota, by Porter Airlines, by O's, Molson Coors, the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club, the Calgary Flames, and the Montreal Canadiens. Until next time, this is John Bauer bidding you good night from Montreal.